welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley, and today, I got my slide whistle on the desk. You know what that means.
I sure do.
For those following from last year's year in review situation, I do have a actual slide whistle sent to us by our listener, Dark Red Bird, that I will be blowing anytime I reference the events of September 11th, 2001.
Yes! It came up so much last time, and we had to find a way to break the occasional tension about it.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, what if a slide whistle?
Yeah, and unfortunately, our friend from last time, Monica Scott's not here, but just in case anybody does disapprove, I brought the Monica's disapproval train whistle.
We make a joke she disapproves of.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So spiritually, Monica, I will be keeping...
Our moral center is here.
Yes.
I'm sure somebody already did this joke with the slide whistle, but I will Venmo $50 to anybody who superimposes that sound over the guy jumping out the window.
Yeah.
That for sure exists. That's out there. It's like Rule 34, but for suicide jumping.
Yeah. Let's introduce our guest for this. We're talking about the ruthless aggression era of the world. If 1999 is the attitude era of the world, we're into ruthless aggression with three of my favorite people, three of my favorite comedians. Starting off to my left,
Kyle Clark here, ready again for the duration. I've been prepping for this for days.
and sitting to Kyle's left.
My name's Kevin Anderson, pulling out my notepad file of 9/11 puns, getting ready to do ultimate slide whistle follies.
Why do you need notes? They're puns you should never forget.
And finally, also hilarious comedian, also a very close friend. So happy to have him here. It's our buddy
Keith Carey.
Welcome back to the Disgraceland, Keith, and all. This is going to be wild. Okay, so every time we do this, every year, and I've said before, if I had all the time in the world, this would be the show.
Yes, absolutely. I would abandon my own show and just do this full time.
The
This
funnest
is my
thing.
favorite thing in the world.
Because, for people listening that might not know, essentially, we are on a quest to find the funniest year ever. And so we started this thing off with 1999. That's strong, very strong.
Strong
and
year.
we've explored kind of opposite ends of 1999 throughout the years. And every time we do this, it occurs to me that the year that I think that I'm going to look at turns out to be either the year before or the year after. And 2003 is no different, because I was thinking this is like Butt Rock, Nickelback, and Drowning Pool. That's all like 02.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also feels like that lasted so much longer in retrospect.
It was
but
nothing.
It was like 18 months at most.
If that, like, this is... Big spoiler, if you don't know, 2003, we're leading into the invasion of Iraq. And that's why, in my head, I'm like, it's all Toby Keith and
How's that
fucking
a
bullshit.
The Butt Rock War.
Yeah.
It was kind of the butt rock.
No, it's
when
not.
When the Bush administration decided to let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah. Well, see, that was my association, right? But the truth is, the Iraq War soundtrack, for the most part, is the most like VH1 jumpstart fucking softy Coldplay nonsense.
It's because the Navy had the Disturbed preview commercial. And that's why we all associated, because they put that down with the sickness.
Which is a great way to sign up for the military. Do you want to be down with the sickness?
Be fair.
Agent Orange, folks.
I'm playing sick.
You fucker, get up and get down with the sickness.
Yeah, apparently
Join the Navy.
apparently the Navy couldn't strike a deal with Keene, and that I'm not kidding, like that, and like fucking just the softest garbage. But
when they sent special ops into secret locations, they say we're going somewhere only we know.
yes, yeah.
Lord.
That's the only Keen reference I know.
You took it, and now I have nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say that's where we're taking Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, is somewhere only we know. It turns out to be Poland, but we'll get there.
That Keen was thinking about Poland the whole time.
That's right, and CIA black sites. But I mean, shit, let's dive right in, because we've got much to talk about. We are going to be covering in this episode January through June of the year 2003. So let's start where we always do: New York City.
Windy City.
The windy,
The biggest little apple in the world.
yeah,
The place where only happens.
yeah. If you can drop a ball here, you can drop a ball anywhere. So when they drop the ball, there's the big crystal ball. It has the year, and then there's a bunch of fireworks and lights. For some reason, in 2002 going into 2003, above that is a black banner with a gigantic American flag, and I'm not kidding, in white impact meme font.
Fuck yeah.
Is the year 2003.
Yes.
What?
It like they have 2003 in lights where the ball is going to drop,
Sure.
but then also it's like 2003, American flag. Like, it's a warning.
Our year.
It's a soft warning.
This is America going, this is our year.
Yeah.
Senior year is going to be great.
Yeah.
It was the classic scumbag America meme.
yeah. So
There's the little hat on the flag.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So I usually go to Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve to kind of get the tone,
Like
get the
God
temperature.
intended.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We are 2 New Year's away from Dick Clark's stroke that kind of took him out the game for a while. So,
For the Ryan Seacresting wave.
but no, it's the Regis Philbin. It's Philbin.
Oh, you forget about that.
I forgot about that Philbin was there for a few years.
Yeah.
It's like that one James Bond that only did the one.
Yeah. He's the George Lazenby.
There you go,
He's
thank
the
you.
Gerald Ford of New Year's host.
He's the Gooch of American New Year. He kind of connects the robust dick of Dick Clark and the unwanted anus that is Ryan Seacrest.
And he's always sweaty.
So I'll mention the Dick Clark, but honestly, based on how much fun the 2000 episode of MTV's New Year's Eve was,
Yeah.
I was like, man, let's just get
That's
to the
what
shit.
I watched at this age.
Okay, so this one was fucking infuriating because it was drunk Ashton Kutcher all over it. Like, it was so
3 of the
perfect.
worst words I've ever heard in a row. Jesus Christ.
It was Ashton Kutcher and the late Brittany Murphy, both fucked out of their minds, interrupting Carson Daly, who was also
goes
drunk. Carson's drunk, but he's a fucking professional. So he's
Yeah.
just like, here we are, MTV. And you can tell he's like slower than normal. And Ashton's just like, look at that ball. Wow. Yeah. And he's wearing a trucker hat.
It's kind of the worst baby New Year we've ever had.
I'd forgotten how much I like just
He sucks
despise
a lot.
him.
Like, he's disappeared and done a great job having us forget how much he existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just pops up every couple of years with like a crypto scam. That's his new thing, which is
And
annoying.
to reveal that he doesn't shower or whatever that one
Oh,
was.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was a slow news day.
Well, it's just like, of course you don't. Of course you're the guy who's this fucking guy.
Yeah. So it's hosted by Carson Dillon. He's wearing a smoking jacket and has a Playboy logo diamond necklace because
Oh, that sucks so much ass.
because this is MTV New Year pajama party.
Yeah.
So everybody's wearing fucking pajamas.
Is this the kind of thing you'd have been like to your manager in 2003? Get me to that pajama party.
Right. Yeah.
But only if I could be bedazzled in Playboy accoutrement.
I would have
Required.
no question been doing like vastly underpaid punch up on Carson Daly.
Oh, yeah. You'd have been doing a writer's room for a slice of pizza.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna.
Don't
wing
forget
it.
afterwards, you got to let Jesse camp out.
Even though it's a pajama party, we have to assume if that's not happening, Ashton would definitely be decked out in Ed Hardy, Von Dutch hat. Like,
Oh yeah.
this is that
the
era.
Von Dutch hat.
He does
it's
have
the
a
Von
trucker
Dutch
hat.
hat.
Did any of you guys fall into the Ed Hardy trap?
Not even a little.
No, not Ed Hardy.
I got
but-
briefly.
Did
I got-
you?
That
I got-
makes sense.
Got a little bit. I had the shoes.
Oh, you're an Orange County guy. That's gonna happen. I'm
I
sorry.
I was only following orders.
Yeah.
I had a student millions of years ago back, kind of still in that era, who had Ugg boots that went to her knees that were Ed Hardy bedazzled all the way down to the foot.
That's like digging all the way to China,
the
where it's so
craziest
bad
shit,
that I
yeah.
kind of respect it.
But
It being child size was all the better.
But the big attraction, the thing that they're leading up to at this is Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne are going to renew their vows.
Fuck yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
they are hyping this up like it's going to be the craziest thing you've ever seen. They're like, okay, it's whatever, 3 hours earlier on the West Coast.
He's gonna
Ozzy-
bite the head off the priest.
Yeah. And then
Nothing steamier at a pajama party than long-term monogamy.
Well, I'd hate from older people.
Yeah. Watch these old people just fuck each other until they die.
Like, I would hate to think there was any friction in that relationship.
well, there probably is, but they're really gearing you up to be like, you've seen the Osbournes. Just imagine what they're going to do. And then it's just 2 old people just been like, and one of them's done too much heroin. So he's just like, I love you. It's my life. And you're like, this sucks, dude.
A bunch of young people are just going, woo!
Yeah, well, that's the thing is they're in LA, like the party's in New York,
Oh,
so
right.
they interrupt a fun party to cut to 2 old people renewing their vows.
They're not
like,
even at the pajama.
no, they're like in someplace in LA.
They're some sort of love bunker far away.
Look, I don't want to tap this too early, but this is early. This is still within the grief phase for 9/11. So this is sort
Right.
of denial. Like, no, man, we're fine. There we go. Here we go. I'm so excited to have cracked that. But this is my running motif with with as I now think of it as the years when I was in high school, because fucking 9/11 happens early in my freshman year,
Right.
And everything that follows for those next couple years is just America going, no, man, I'm fine. I've never felt better.
So
It's America right after the breakup when you're like, you got to cry, dude. And
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
no.
It's in the first D of Dabda.
you look at everything that American culture becomes for a hot minute, and it is someone who is not ready to accept a breakup.
I'm fine. I'm wearing a dumb hat. I'm fucking fat girls. I'm good.
Have you seen the impact font on my flag?
yeah.
Would a guy who's not doing great have 2 years on top of the building? Ashton thinks I'm doing awesome. Me and Ashton.
So last call with Carson Daly has started.
Oh, okay,
Carson
okay.
is still doing double duty at this point.
He's still doing TRL,
He's
too?
doing MTV and NBC, but you can tell he's on the way out, and they're trying to get over the new crop of DJs. And this ain't it, fam. We've got the forgotten DJs Caduce.
Oh my God, I know Caduce. I remember Caduce.
Have you opened for Caduce?
Yeah, at the worst place.
That's spelled
I couldn't even think of a bad place.
I think Caduce is the Klingon word for unemployed. Like,
We've got Hillary, which is spelled Hilarie.
get fucked.
We've got
How do you have all the wrong vowels?
we've got Damien and Lala.
Sure.
Lala gets engaged at midnight. Some guy that's unseen. She
I
just
feel like
comes from behind a camera being like, I got engaged. You're like, what? Who?
I feel like I
Who?
vaguely remember Lala.
Yeah, and then my favorite this was a deep cut. We keep cutting to MTV News with Gideon Yago.
Holy shit.
Loader's out of there. Fucking John Norris is out of there. We got Gideon fucking Yago.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes absolutely destroys Break Your Neck, obviously. And then Good Charlotte is here. So is Avril Lavigne. The Foo Fighters play Back in Black with Jack Black on vocals. And it's not very good. It's a rare L for Jack Black in this time period.
Everything about that seems like it should work.
Right, it should work, and it's not very good. Also, they cut to outside where Avril Lavigne is wearing a T-shirt. It is 37 degrees outside, so not freezing, but still too cold for a T-shirt, and she's playing Complicated. Overall, this version of MTV's New Year's Eve feels so much more low rent.
That might be this might be the worst year.
This is
Caduce, man. Come on.
Well, when we did
Caduce was loose.
The Caduce was loose.
Well, by the time we did 2005 a while back,
Yeah.
and like by the time you get to that, like pop music is back into an upswing again, and you've got Sexy back, and you've got Kanye West popping off, but like none of that has happened yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird cultural
Like
rut.
pop is in between boy bands and the next wave of pop shit, so it's
Yeah.
like weird butt rock and Coldplay and
I will say this is kind of the year that rap takes over completely.
I think that
based
tracks
on
for me.
what we're about to hear. But the more interesting thing about this was the commercials. So God bless whoever loaded this on YouTube. We've got a 1-800-CALLATT.
Hell yes.
Still running collect phone calls with Carrot Top.
Yes.
You got to
This
dial
is-
down the middle, man.
This is pre-Carrot Top crazy eyebrows.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
face and
Yeah, that's
body
right.
and
Yeah.
everything.
Weird thing to just know.
No, I mean, like, because remember, he got weird in, like, plastic surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then he was hanging dong on Instagram.
He sure was.
Was he really?
His
Oh,
dong,
yeah.
His dong, I've seen his dong on Instagram, and it's not flattering.
Yeah, because he goes running and he doesn't have underwears and he wears like the 70s Wilt Chamberlain basketball shorts and his dick will just fall out on Instagram
I
from
wouldn't
time
say
to time.
I wouldn't say he showed hog, but he had a peeping piglet.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't say that either.
we
Man, if you're as susceptible to a baby carrot pun as him, maybe hide your little dick.
Yeah.
we have previews for a Jason Lee, Julia Stiles, Selma Blair, Thomas Lennon film called A Guy Thing that I have no recollection of.
Oh, I remember that.
My absolute favorite, though, they had a thing called Nescafe Frothe. And it is a coffee where the selling point is the amount of froth.
Yes.
So it's just people drinking, your favorite part of a drink, the annoying shit that gets on your face.
Yeah, the
Maximum
inedible slop.
But that was
Yeah.
but that
Do you
was
want to
such a
breathe in the
thing.
concept of coffee?
Like think back to fucking Spy Who Shagged Me a few years prior, and Dr. Evil is doing the Starbucks bits with the shit on his mouth.
Right.
That was apex humor at the time. Was they took a drink and something's still there? Can you believe it? Oh my god!
Can you imagine how easy it would be to be a comedy writer back then?
I think about it all
my
the
God.
time. If we get a time machine, we're scumbag billionaires.
There's like
Oh, yeah.
7 guys at a writer's room. They're like, What if your wife was fat? And they're like, oh my God.
Me and Connor talk about this all the time. If we could go back and just be the guys who wrote those like bad intros to the MTV Movie Awards
it's dreamed up.
through the early 2000s. Oh my Christ.
Nescafe is interesting because then we ended up with Nespresso as they tried to rebrand that shit.
Right. Also, one of the commercials is a local internet service ad that explains in great detail why cable is better than dial-up. Like, it's essentially like, hey, guys, I know you don't understand what this is, but it's way better than dial-up.
Right.
And it just shows a comparison, and like they're trying to sell you on it. Also, Listerine pocket packs.
Yep.
Sure.
Are those the strip?
Yeah, the strips, so you can pretend you're doing acid when you're in fucking junior high school. But this was the big one that really struck me. And I would venture to say that if there's one smell that I associate with the early 2000s more than anything, it has to be this.
Here's a new deodorant called Axe.
Here we go.
Spray it under your arms and across
Oh my
your chest
God.
to
I'm
stay
excited we're
fresh
gonna
all
talk about
day.
this.
I know you're not touching my mannequin.
That's right. It's a
Someone got paid to write that.
it is Axe body spray with a white woman who says,
I know you're not touching my mannequin.
Axe is such a specifically early 2000s smell.
I'm going
You're right.
to make everybody be very vulnerable right now
Yeah.
and ask about your relationship with Axe body spray.
Oh, yeah, I was all about the Axe.
What was your smell? This is my real question.
I mean, they were all just sort of chemical
real
blue or
specific.
whatever.
yeah.
Gasoline.
Nah, dog, Phoenix over here. I was
Okay.
a Phoenix man. That was the only one I'd fuck with. But yeah, that was every day hitting myself with a little Axe body spray before going off to school.
Oh, yeah.
But it was also like I got turned on to it because this is around the same time I started smoking. And so like Axe body spray is the best smoking cover up that has ever been invented.
Yes.
You can just keep spraying and spraying. And they're just like, well, I don't know why they smell so chemically, but
so
they're
pungent
obviously not
and
smoking.
toxic.
Well, that's what I said. I'm like, it's not even just the Axe body spray. It's specifically the Axe body spray covering up weed
Yes.
in a Pontiac Bonneville. That's 2003, baby.
Buick Regal, friend.
Yeah.
Dodge Neon.
Yeah, it's it's rained in there, so it's got a mildew kind of funk to it, but
Yeah.
it also is weed. But
So-
then the Axe body spray.
I never used Axe body spray except for this one prank we would do, where we would do this in someone's car or at the front door of their house, where you wrap a rubber band around it and you have your thumb in there and you release it and throw it in so it just keeps spraying.
Oh,
Like you're
And
fucking
people
breaking into Bin Laden's compound.
People think it's a fucking chemical weapon.
Yeah.
And if you'd either leave it in someone's like car and just have it empty the whole can in their car and just so it smells like that for a year, or you knock on someone's front door and throw it in with a mask on and run away. And they think they've just been gassed, especially because it's this post 9/11 world where terrorists are coming to your front door specifically.
There you go.
there we are.
Don't you see how useful it is?
It's really good.
It's the great. I mean,
We haven't even gotten to 2003 yet. We've used it twice.
Yeah.
The ball has yet to drop.
One day we're gonna get this bad boy set up so that it's AI.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
run all podcasts through there, so all 9/11 references can be.
So I finally did get over to Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve on ABC. Dick Clark has Nelly, Third Eye Blind, Rod Stewart, BTK, Missy Elliott, O-Town.
Wow.
BTK getting in there.
Yeah, or B2K rather. Sorry, BTK. Never mind. Yeah, Dennis Rader.
When I thought it was like, that's gotta be a cool rapper name.
No, it's just actually Dennis Rader. They hadn't caught him yet. He's just sitting. He came
Playing
up
it.
here from New York, waiting for X Factor to kick in.
You guys want to hear the Macarena? He just holds up a boombox.
They got Uncle Cracker.
Yes.
And then right after midnight, Dick Clark says, it's very exciting to have Mayor Bloomberg here. I was like, Dick Clark, you're lying. Mayor Bloomberg has never been exciting to have anywhere. But there's this one moment in the broadcast that is so 2002, it's unbelievable. So this is the shakiest transition I've ever heard.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You can bet that lots of the popular video game titles were bought by music groups this year. Video games are especially popular with bands on tour. They play them in hotel rooms, on the bus, wherever. And when you're talking about touring bands, you got to think of this next group. As a matter of fact, they'll be crisscrossing America again this coming year, celebrating their amazing 25 years of hit music. And tonight, we're joining the opening night performance of their American Farewell Tour, and we're about to see a number they put together just for us. From Las Vegas, here they are, Alabama.
So,
yeah, I'm sure Alabama's ripping Vice City.
yeah.
You can play anywhere. Hotel rooms, the bus, etc.
My God, what a stretch.
And by the way, the song is exactly what you think.
It's worth more than their pay.
Talk about freedom, baby.
Them recognize. Hello, DJ. Detroit auto worker.
Yes, that's right. Hello, Detroit auto workers. That's right. Just so you didn't think Alabama forgot about you during the last year. But it's I love because it's such a shred. She starts Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and then
You
somehow
bet that a lot of bands have taken their names from video games.
Yeah.
Once. Name one.
well,
Didn't.
Yeah.
Well, that's like,
Alabama?
yeah. Well, that's
Grand
like,
Theft Auto, Alabama.
Okay, I'd play the shit
That
out
would be really fucking good. That would be really good.
but here we see a bunch of washed up hacks from the 70s and 80s trying to cash in on 9/11.
As opposed to this podcast, which is a bunch of washed up hacks from the mid 2010s.
That's right. Yeah. In this video, it's the band Alabama. Leonard Skinner will go on to release their song Red, White, and Blue on April 16th. Here's the lyrics. Yeah, we love our families. We love our kids. It's love that makes us all so rich. That's where we're at. If you don't like it, you can get the hell out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a message I can get behind.
Yeah.
This is just going to show what we've always believed in Leonard Skinner. Never trust airplanes.
We've been saying it for years.
So speaking of washed up hacks from the 70s and 80s trying to cash in on 9/11, this is the year Dick Cheney, Paul Wolfowitz, and Donald Rumsfeld would invader hack alongside the half-witted American Satan, George W. Bush. So now let us get into 2003 officially. The ball has
He's the
dropped.
American devil, but he's like little hot stuff. Like, just wearing a diaper, and you can't be that mad.
Boys are
Oh my
stupid.
God, yes.
Boys are stupid and they smell bad.
So January 3rd, 2003 in Washington, D.C., the 108th United States Congress is sworn in. If there was any justice in the world, this particular group of individuals would have all had their names read at trial at The Hague. One notable lingering ghoul from this inglorious group of demons includes South Carolina Senator, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Heavens to Betsy, it's Lindsey Graham.
Oh, this bitch.
Yeah, so we got Lindsey Graham clocking in for the first time, and he's still around. There's going to be a lot of that. Also, the same day, Greta Thunberg is born in Sweden. So
Shout out.
just shout out. She's cool. She makes all the right people insane. She's good with me.
You remember when Andrew Tate tried to dunk on her for how much gas he uses? He's like, I don't care how much this is like 5 miles to the gallon. Greta, your move. And she's like,
Yeah.
you're a fucking idiot. And I'm like 18.
Yeah, I'm
Go
like-
Car's
ahead.
expensive as fuck. Dude, I'm stupid, bitch.
I'm a big dumb idiot. My hair's bad.
Yeah, brains are for queers. I gotta kill a chicken to start my car. It runs on baby seal blood. It's fucked up.
Pontiac Hitler.
It's got the little mustache on the front.
Like a lift mustache.
Yeah, but like bad.
Yeah. It's still pink though. It's a little Hitler, a pink Hitler mustache.
Well, yeah, it's like a little fun.
It's like the Volkswagens where you get the flower, the eyelashes.
So we're about to run into, because with these year-end episodes, we try to figure out like who won the year.
Right.
And I think we're right now about to hit our first very serious contender, and it's also going to double as our ungodly concoction, because January 7th, you might remember on our Y2K episode, we talked about a certain individual who got shot 9 times on the streets of New York in 2000 and lived.
Oh, yeah.
And now he is coming for the whole goddamn year, folks. It is the release of 50 Cent's In the Club comes out to start the year, everybody.
First songs I remember seeing people across subcultures are like, damn, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, not since Hot in Here have people like, that's a bop. Like,
Oh, hell yeah. And this is where it ties into our affairs, everybody, because
did I enjoy receiving a hug?
does anybody happen to know who produced the song that you're hearing here? Kevin, our resident hip-hop head.
Oh man, don't put me on the spot like that.
What?
I don't have it off the top of my head. Remind me.
Well, it's a man from Compton, California. He's,
Oh, Dr.
it's
Dre. Oh,
motherfucking Dr. Dre.
that
So,
makes
for this week's Ungodly Concoction, while we talk about 2003,
Oh, yes.
I was at Walmart, folks. What do we got here, Kevin?
We got a torn open box of Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop, a premium gin crafted cocktail.
That's right.
A variety pack that
has a
includes
low rider on the
apricot,
box.
citrus, melon, and passion fruit.
It is a variety pack, and folks, I've got my red cooler because everybody gets one.
There is also a parental advisory explicit content sticker on the box, but it's only 5.9% alcohol by volume, so I don't know. Parents don't need to be in the room for this one.
Your kids could drink this.
Yeah, you guys can drink this.
What
I hope my mom doesn't find me with my passion fruit cocktail.
what flavor?
Are you mad that I'm drinking? No, we're mad that you're gay.
2003.
Exactly. I'm being of the time.
Yeah. This isn't offensive.
What flavor would you like, Keith? We've got citrus, we've got apricot, we've got passion
Apricot
fruit.
seems the most ridiculous, so I'm going to go apricot.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's melon.
Mark Marone.
Yeah. Zip. Where the hell's the?
How many total we got in here?
Oh, I don't even know. Citrus.
there's 8.
Must
Okay,
be apricot here. Oh, there you go,
Let's
Keith.
go.
What do you want, Kevin?
I'll do the passion fruit since I already made a joke.
Okay, I'm gonna get that going here.
Kyle, I don't know why I just gave you the box like you couldn't read it from 2 inches away. Thank you.
Thankfully.
What would you like,
I
Kyle?
have to say, I might also take a passion.
Oh, I've got that passion fruit over here. I
shit.
got the other one. What do you
Gotcha.
got?
Let me do citrus then.
Citrus. Okay.
Well, then should I get melon so we all have one of each?
I'm gonna drink a melon after this. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. All right, never mind. We're getting
I don't
fucked
have
up.
to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm a drink.
Oh wait, citrus. There you go. Sorry, I gave you the wrong one.
I already cracked the melon. so
Oh,
take a
all
melon.
right, cool.
I wonder how long it'll be before like young people don't realize Snoop Dogg was ever a rapper and they just think he's been a corporate mascot
yeah,
forever.
getting close.
He's
Yeah.
like Ernest, where he just kind of is the face
He's the guy
of
who's
whatever.
around.
Snoop Dogg goes to prison on a weed charge.
All right. Cheers, folks. Happy summer, everybody.
Happy
Let's see what
summer.
Dr.
Hey,
Dre's
summer. Have a
serving
summer,
up.
everybody.
Having a damn summer.
It's actually not bad.
No, I wanted it to be worse so I could be like,
I'm worried
tastes like
I-
Dr. Dre just
I'm
pushing
worried
this
I-
down a flight of stairs. But
Which you have on a little pad in front of you.
Yeah.
you wrote all your Dre drink puns or
That's
whatever.
because he's a goddamn professional.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. This is kudos.
So yeah, Indie Club gets released, and
I love gin and juice.
this
When does this drink get released?
like
Is this from 2000?
No. It was I was in Walmart and I just saw Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. I was like,
Oh,
hey,
okay.
that's
Perfect.
related.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to buy these for the party.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. You'll probably end up taking some of these as well.
at the liquor store by my house, there's a whole like display right up on the counter of Snoop has some sort of wine with Martha Stewart.
Fuck yeah.
Now,
that's
and
right,
I
that's
keep
right.
wanting to pick it up. and this
19
inspired
Crimes,
me.
I think, is
I
the name
believe
of it.
that is it.
Yeah.
I like that Snoop Dogg has truly like just been like whatever people will think is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's not even products I'm going to tie into. It's truly like what would it be funny
Yeah.
for my name attached to?
He's like, you know what dignity doesn't do? Give you $1 million. So
You know what being a voice in Call of Duty does? That 5 times.
It does make me feel a lot better about being poor. I'm doing this on purpose, everybody, because I have dignity.
This is an artistic choice, not general disinterest from the entertainment industry.
I gotta say the flavor on this is surprising because it's
You have the
not
passion fruit,
it's
right?
passion fruit. It's not sweet, and I don't taste any gin. It just kind of tastes like a seltzer more than
This tastes like a
lovely.
flat seltzer.
yeah.
This tastes more like a LaCroix than the LaCroix I'm currently drinking.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest. I have a citrus LaCroix and a citrus one of these. I'm thinking of just pouring them together.
That is an
Might as
idea.
well.
Why not make it 3%?
I just realized I don't know what an apricot tastes like, so I have no idea how close this is.
That's how from Orange County Keith is. There's several fruits he has no recollection of.
Don't they grow all the fucking apricots down here too? I think this is where they
And
come
then
from.
They leave immediately.
You're like Charlie Day in that episode of It's Always Sunny where he's just never had a pear. And he just eats the whole thing, sticker and all.
But yeah, it's a 50 Cent. Keep him in mind for a possible contender for having won the year. This song, obviously massive, absolutely everywhere. Went platinum 9 times. So they
Yeah.
sold 9 million of these
And
fucking
still
records.
plays often. You still hear it often.
All the goddamn
Wait,
time.
did it go platinum the same amount of times he got shot?
Yes, it
That
did
rules.
indeed. Yeah,
That
yeah.
is-
One, 1 million records for every bullet.
I hope his platinum record is melted down into like 9 sized records.
That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Quick one here. January 12th, R.I.P. Maurice Gibb from the Bee Gees dies. January 13th, Senator Joseph Lieberman from Connecticut announced he will run for president in 2004. We all got that
gonna go
Lieberman mania.
super well.
Yep. And that same day, the Who guitarist Pete Townsend is arrested on suspicion
Okay, here we
of
go.
possessing and making indecent images of children.
Let's
and
take a quick pause once we finish the sentence.
And Townsend claims in a statement that he did not download any such images and access websites advertising child pornography because he was doing research for his autobiography, which will include passages about his abusive childhood.
Okay, so for a bunch of shithead high school sophomores, having a classic rock guy get arrested for
Yes.
child pornography was
Yeah.
maybe one of the greatest.
Oh,
gifts.
yeah.
That might have been one of the funniest days I had in high school. The sheer unstoppable torrent of fucking jokes my friends and I made all fucking goddamn day. I think about it fondly. The best one, of course, being, oh no, it's the cops. Delete. I'm doing the arm swinging thing, everybody.
Did anybody say pre-teenage wasteland?
Of course they did. Yeah. Are you kidding me? We got to the point where it's like $100 for child porn. I call that a bargain. Like, we were out of control. We know a ton about this band, and we are little monsters. Like, that's maybe, like, I've said some terrible things to comedian. Nothing compared to that day in 2003.
I just like
Baby
the
O'Reilly.
Ever since you were a young boy, I've fondled both your balls.
Do you see what a fucking endless rich vein of gold this is? I truly
He sure has a clean set of balls.
even the simple balls work.
Yeah. No one knows what it's like to be arrested,
Child porn.
tested in a London jail.
I hope whoever arrested the cops, they then put on sunglasses and one of the CSI theme songs.
Yes. Oh my God.
I just like that. I think you can do something like this, not what he did, but his excuse, like 3 times. And this is the second one. I don't recall what the third would be, but no, Winona Ryder gets arrested for stealing dresses in Beverly Hills.
Right.
And her excuse was, I'm doing research for a role. Pete Townsend does it. I'm doing research for a book. And I can't remember who that third person is. But even at this point, that excuse was
It
like
was actually
shaky.
George W. Bush.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I
He
admitted
actually
I
had
read-
America invade Iraq because he was working on a
He was,
book.
he was working on a, he was working on a manga.
During this period, for whatever reason, when I was writing as a teenager, I thought it was always funny to give George W. Bush like funny hobbies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and stuff. And so I had a script for something at one point where he Dick Cheney, and Colin Powell were in a psychobilly band. And I sometimes have to remember that didn't really happen.
Oh, you don't remember when the Tiger Army invaded Fallujah?
Oh shit.
So that exact same day, by the way, we get a pretty massive one here.
Yep.
So Pete Townsend's go to jail. This is the soundtrack. Hello, London. We got your news and some boat rock. Enjoy this while they haul old Petey off to jail.
Didn't know she was 12. As somebody who spends a lot of time in a karaoke bar, I hear this song all the time still.
I gotta say, 2003 is full of songs that will not die.
They will not die.
Absolutely.
This is pop cranking back up into not being fucked with for like 3-4 years here, where it's kind of pop's last real hurrah.
Oh yeah, well there was a lot
the industry falls
of
apart.
people cranking up to this thing here that are still broken
But again,
by it.
I remember rocking out this song while watching Elektra in the theaters.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, this is the Daredevil soundtrack. It's the scene when she has her little knives and she's
that's
stabbing,
right. It's straight up in Daredevil.
It is.
she's stabbing
yeah.
little sandbags
Yeah.
to train
It's
to
the
fight a
prep
blind
scene.
guy.
Yeah.
You know, her cool montage.
I still like that movie. And I don't know why.
It's actually not that
It's
bad.
fun.
It's kind of good.
Oh, we might be getting to it here in a minute.
We might, because that is very much a February ass movie.
Oh, it's
That's not. We have summer confidence. No, sir.
January 17th, Gertrude Steinway, the last widow of a Union veteran from the American Civil War, died at the age of 93 in Blaine, Tennessee. Now, this is kind of bullshit because she married this dude, John Janeway, in 1927 when she was 18 and he was 81.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, she didn't do the Civil War. This doesn't fucking count. Also, ugh.
It is crazy.
80. Well, do you think it was just like the mirror image of it? Like it's fun. 1881. Like,
Ooh,
that's
yeah.
fun.
We're a palindrome that's fucking.
Yeah.
We're a geriatric palindrome that comes dust.
I mean,
Geriatric
yeah.
Palindrome is a band I would go see sight unseen.
That was the psychobilly band that they were.
So-
It is crazy to think that somebody heard firsthand accounts of the Civil War and the song "Wake Me Up" or "Bring Me to Life," whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah. At
The song "Fuck You, Dad" by Evanescence.
So, if you were trying to sell software during this time,
Oh yeah.
we've got old Ben Gibbard.
Gibbard.
Yeah.
Anytime I try to like feel disconnected with my generation, I hear this song and I'm like, well, fuck, I forgot I'm a hack along with them. I too learned how to smoke pot to a lame song.
I went to Riot Fest in Chicago last year, and they were playing at the same time as the Insane Clown Posse.
What?
And I couldn't go over to ICP because Tom Goss had broken his ankle. Long story. So we were stuck near the Postal Service. But I was watching, and
That's
I'm
the most
like,
frustrating story I've ever
I was about to say,
So many layers
who's
of-
giving Postal Service fans wedgies?
but here's the best part of
Yeah,
it.
they're all-
I'm watching. I like the Postal Service fine, and I turn, and there is one juggalette who is snuck away from the ICP,
let's
and
go.
is watching them play this song and crying.
Hell
And she looked at me
fucking
as though to say, "Don't tell
Don't
them."
fuck. Look, I know that you know these people. Don't
Yeah.
tell them.
It was like the most beautiful. I'm like, "You're safe here."
Yeah.
Imagine feeling unsafe at a postal service.
If anyone asks, you were doing poppers and trying to stab people. I promise I won't narc you out to the clown community.
you were trying to figure out basic science and spraying Fago everywhere.
With this song, you could just hear a voiceover being like, "The internet is changing."
Yeah. Come join the millions of users on People PC.
Download your favorite albums in a matter of hours.
And maybe they're the wrong albums. Maybe everything that has ever been considered Irish is labeled as flogging Molly. Who knows?
I liked all those racist Weird Al songs.
The next day, Chappelle's Show premieres on Comedy Central. So, again, talking about a thing that was absolutely fucking
the
ubiquitous.
22nd, right?
Yeah.
That premiered on my birthday.
Is that right? Goddamn, yeah. And it's Kyle's, what,
was
17th?
17th birthday.
17th
Wow.
birthday.
Is that the greatest first episode of a television
Yes.
show ever?
I think but
They
there's
come
a...
out the gate with the blind white supremacist.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
right,
It's
right.
one
yeah.
of the best sketches of all time.
It's pretty crazy how hard that came out swinging.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a strong contender at the end of the year, but as
Comedy
far
Central
as
was like, never again will we be this good.
Yeah.
yeah, as far as cable goes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And it was just one of those things where, for people who didn't live through this, you went to school the next day and everybody was just screaming whatever the funny thing was.
Right.
And I don't know if anything has that kind of cultural penetration now, but
No.
man, it was.
Chappelle Show is kind of a little mini meme factory, even more so than being like a sketch show, because like you're not acting out the sketches the way a fucking Kids in the Hall fan is or some
Right.
shit. It is very much like these snippets of sketches and catchphrases that show is so fucking good at.
When it's so dense where you think about like, okay, the Rick James sketch has 20 lines that are now like one stop.
Right.
Yeah,
My brother just informed me of something that is why having a brother who's too into basketball is great. I guess in the last few years since Prince's death, more basketball players are getting open about that was super real and that he was crazy good at basketball.
Yeah.
They had all gone to these events, especially the people in like Minnesota Timberwolves on weekends would go play basketball at his house, and it would just be him playing basketball. But then in the basketball room, there was also a stage and the band sitting. So every once in a while, they'd take a break. He'd go play fucking Little Red Corvette, and then they'd go back to fucking playing basketball.
That kicks ass.
And literally, these guys are like, look, we couldn't talk about this. People must know how fucking cool he was.
Imagine having your hero from a different discipline not only like the thing you like, but also be better than you at it.
And then just like score on you from the three, and then go play the fucking Let's Go Crazy guitar solo.
Yeah.
It's like when you learn Tim Robinson can skate,
Yeah.
which is so true.
Like,
It's
fuck
so
off.
yeah, it's so true. Like
He's from Detroit. They make you do that.
No, yeah,
there.
yeah. He's kicking it with like guys that I grew up watching in skate videos. Like, oh yeah, me and Atiba Jefferson are friends. Let me go tray flip off this curb real quick. I'm like, you fucking rule. Everything you do is awesome.
It's definitely true. Anytime you find someone you like and you find out they do a different thing well as well, you're like, now it's even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Jason Lee being like skateboard and funny guy. He was like, I was so on
I'm
board
going
with
to
him for
ask
so
everybody
long.
a terrible question, which is, has anybody here seen Mumford?
And I've seen his
Lee's
son.
psychiatrist
No.
thing? Well played.
Yeah.
That's the first time I'd seen Jason Lee skateboard, and then after the fact learned of all of the skateboard.
Oh yeah, he used to
Okay.
ride for Blind back in like the 80s.
He's in
like
the
he's
first
in one of the
girl
most,
video.
Yeah, he's one of the most like he was on like one of the most legendary old school skate videos of all time, which is called Video Days by
Yes.
Blind.
Is
And
that the one
it's
where they
like-
drive off the cliff at the end?
No, that's Destroying America, I believe.
He's
Okay.
in No
With his-
Thanks as well, right?
I think so. And then Girl, he's in the first Girl video also.
Well, speaking of sports, that Sunday after Chappelle's Show premieres, January 26, 2003, Super Bowl 37 held in San Diego. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers absolutely destroyed the Oakland Raiders 48-21. It was the Bucs' first Super Bowl win, and more importantly, the halftime show, Grab Bag. It's my dream that they bring this sort of
I
thing
think
back.
I know which one this
I know
is.
some-
It's Shania Twain okay, we're running with the theme. No Doubt, huh? And Sting. Okay, now why? Why any of this?
That's amazing. Wow.
Why were executives' plans in the 2000s to throw a little Sting on there?
I mean, you couldn't. I mean, he's around.
Finally, nothing for everyone.
Yes, that's right. No, it's always been my dream for the Super Bowl to be, because everybody bitches. It's like, oh, this is old people music, or this is new, young people music. I've said before,
People music.
new people. Yeah, the ones that weren't there last year. That's for them.
The new folks.
But my dream has been to have 4 or 5 different bags of musicians representing each generation, and then you pick a name from each bag, and then you tell them, and then you're like, all right, guys, figure some shit out.
Oh yeah, I want to see the Bruce Springsteen Ice Spice.
Yes, 100%.
But remember, they also had shitty versions of this, like they had the Britney Spears, Aerosmith, Nelly one.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Where
think
it's just like, get these people away from each other and stop this nonsense before everyone gets hurt.
Right. So, also that same night, Jimmy Kimmel Live premieres on ABC after the Super Bowl.
Money's own?
Yeah, that's right. The Man
Stein
Show.
Money's.
The Man Show zone. What are we talking
The
about?
one guy who realized the Man Show was ironic.
Yes.
And had normal teeth?
February 1st, Space Shuttle Columbia disintegrates in the atmosphere over Texas. So,
Do we have a sound effect for that?
check the heat tiles on the wings, folks. I think I was taking the SATs the day that happened, because I was at school and then heard about it, and I was like, wait, we're rerunning this whole space shuttle
We're running it
tragedy
back.
thing?
Yeah, we're a little throwback Thursday.
I totally forgot that. I totally forgot this happened. Like
Yeah, 'cause-
9/11 really ate these dudes' lunch.
Well, I also confused the Columbia with the Challenger in my head all the time.
Right.
Yes.
It's the seas. and the similar nature of the situation.
Yeah, and the only 2 spaceships where a bunch of people died.
So February 3rd, got another
There we go.
sort of I mean, I don't know if this qualifies as a banger, but it was definitely everywhere, and it's one of the rare instances of a use of a 6-string banjo in a pop song, so might as well play.
Yeah.
I always forget
Matchbox 20 Unwell comes
yeah.
out.
Second half of Matchbox 20, I always forget happens.
Oh yeah, when they changed the 20 to the word 20.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so before this, the big ones were like Real World,
3
Push,
a.m.,
3
Push.
a.m.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is
Was
this is-
Iris already happened?
That's
or-
Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, duh. Okay.
But
yes.
we understand why the confusion.
Yeah.
all of this wuss rock kind of blends
Neither of
together.
them are
in a certain
Sugar
way.
Ray.
Yeah.
Bunch of guys who talk like this.
Raw.
Well, this is what I was talking about at the beginning.
What if any man sucked?
This is what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, all the music in this era is like VH1 Coffee House rock, shit like this,
Yeah.
and Michelle Branch. Like, I blame Santana somehow.
I blame
because he's the
VH1.
link between
Oh,
this sort of
yeah.
thing.
VH1 really let adult contemporary become a dominant force for a decade.
Yes,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
absolutely. And speaking of Unwell, earlier this day, legendary music producer Phil Spector shoots Lana Clarkson in the mouth.
Allegedly.
No, he's dead. You can't slander the dead, Kyle. He did that shit, and he was found guilty. So
At the
double,
time,
he did
on
it.
the day, it was a legend. But
Yeah.
He shoots her in the mouth while I can still hear this song in the background. It's one of the most unpleasant things.
speaking of someone who was quite unwell, she got shot in the mouth.
Clarkson was a waitress at the Hollywood House of Blues. She went home with Spector the night before, and after she spurned his advances, he shot her. Spectrum's Spectrum. It's a fucking
Phil Spectrum.
Spectrum Mobile.
Damn, Spectrum Cable shot her. Spector's driver said Spector came out of the house holding a gun and said, "Well, I think I killed someone." Somehow, this case turned into an actual trial.
Well, I think I killed someone.
Yeah.
Your Honor, nuh-uh.
Well,
In my defense, Your Honor, come on.
well, I'd forgotten this. Like, it ended in a hung jury on the first try. They had to redo the trial. Spector was finally sentenced on May 29th, 2009 to 19 years to life for second-degree murder. He would have been eligible for parole this year if he hadn't rightfully drowned in his own lung fluid during COVID. So he would have possibly, I mean, I don't think they would have let him out, but if he was still alive, like, well, we could just let this guy go, even though he walked out of his house with a literal smoking gun and going, "I did something."
And still, it took a minute to put him away.
Years.
I like that if it was a hung jury, it's like 11 voted guilty and 1 voted not guilty, and you pan over to the jury, and it's clearly Phil Spector wearing a fake mustache.
And he's
But he
doing a
still
really
has the
bad
hair.
Italian accent. He's
Yeah.
like, I didn't know think that he did it.
Well, if you remember the trial, he would wear the wigs. Do you remember
Yeah.
his amazing wigs
Oh,
where
yeah.
he'd have like an
Wigs.
afro afro, and sometimes like your Rod Stewart, like swoopy hair,
Right.
like all kinds of crazy shit.
Normal guy.
Normal guy, still the great. I mean, that's it's sort of the thing with Chappelle. You're just like, yeah, but like,
It's a little different. Like, I don't love a lot of Chappelle's takes in recent years, but I take him over him shooting someone in the
mouth.
face.
yeah, but
in the mouth.
But that
Look,
Christmas record, Goodfellas isn't the same without the Phil Spector Christmas record.
Slow down for a minute. But what if I were to tell you that before this crime, the best thing Phil Spector did besides the Ronettes is the goddamn in the '60s he used to go around late at night in a limo wearing a cape and a cane.
Yeah.
and he would just go out and attack people.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
Just
what?
get into physical fights.
Yeah.
He would just jump out of a limo and attack people. But then if the tide turned against him, his limo driver would get out and beat that person up, and he'd run back to the limo.
Like, were they bad guys or good guys?
No, just people.
arbitrary
You think he was a caped crusader?
yeah,
I don't
He
know.
wasn't fighting
What you're
crime,
describing is Batman.
But once you add cocaine to Batman, Batman's like, I don't know what good from bad is anymore.
Gordon, I shot her in the mouth.
And that's why they won't release the movie.
Alfred, get my court wig. He's still got the fucking mask on.
the ears are sticking up through it.
I don't use guns.
Oh, he was.
I use guns and I don't own a yacht.
He throws a batarang at her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are supposed to be non-lethal.
Oh, shit. No one's supposed to get her in the mouth.
The jury was
no.
The jury was hung because nobody knew who Batman was.
Weirdly, Bruce Wayne was the only juror who voted not guilty.
I just don't think he'd be capable of that. I think sometimes you're just doing stuff.
Haven't you listened to the Ronettes?
So we got that going on. February 5th, it's time for the United States to present its case for war to the United Nations. Inside the UN, a large blue curtain was placed over Picasso's Guernica, a painting depicting the horrors of war, a thing they fucking did. It's this
I gotta
Oh
say
my
this.
God.
They
Yeah.
wouldn't even cover it up now, though. They'd just write a dick on it.
Yeah.
This is gay.
It would literally be Trump standing in front of it just going, doesn't that look sick? Let's
Yeah.
do it again.
Look, he's a funny cow. It's a funny cow.
No, I don't know. I think Keith might be able to answer this for me, but I don't,
boy.
is this before or after the brand new song Guernica comes out?
I think we're right in the area.
It might be this
Might be
year.
about this.
I think it could be. I'm going to look it up. I think it could be this year that the Quiet Things album comes out.
So
Before Jesse Lacey collaborated on that book with Pete Townsend.
That's a deep cut pedophilia joke, everybody.
So who are we going to get to justify this atrocity? Let's get the same guy we brought in to justify the atrocities committed by the U.S. at the My Lai massacre when 500 unarmed civilians were killed. That's right, U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell. You know, he died recently, and that was a thing. Nobody was talking about how he was the hatchet man to be like, oh no, My Lai's like kind of overblown. We didn't really do that much shit back in the 70s.
Yeah,
So this has always been his thing.
People are getting a little dramatic about Me Lai.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, so if you need a hatchet man who's really good at looking you dead in the face and lying about the murderous intentions of our global death machine, Colin's your guy.
Take him up.
His rationale to the UN for the war was, of course, citing weapons of mass destruction as an imminent threat to world security.
We got him.
Yeah. And the content of this presentation was based on unreliable evidence, most of which had been proven demonstrably false months before to the Bush administration. So in hindsight, it's like there are memos for literally everything he said being like, this guy's just telling you stuff. It's not true. It's because
Yeah.
you're paying him or torturing him.
Right.
It turns out they'll just tell you anything when you're doing that.
Super convenient.
Yeah, this was pure theater. Colin Powell would go on to call the speech the biggest blot on his record of public service. Powell rightfully drowned in his own lung fluid. October 18th, 2021.
Is this the theme? We need a noise for this.
Can I make,
Like somebody.
can I make a nomination right
bubbles in
now?
his-
I wish we had a bong. Like just to hit a wet bong.
I know that you're saying, like, okay, while we're doing this, we're looking for whoever had the year.
Yeah,
of the
50
year.
Cent.
I'm nominating lung fluid. I know it's time release, but
Lung fluid's early work.
yeah. Lung fluid's demo tapes came out in 03.
Yeah, absolutely. With alongside Jesse Lacey's.
So around this time, the Texas-based energy company Halliburton was awarded a $7 billion contract to oversee the oil infrastructure after the invasion of Iraq. Halliburton was, interestingly, the only company allowed to bid for this contract. Vice President Dick Cheney was chairman of Halliburton from 1995 to 2000 and received $36 million in payouts when he left the company to run for vice president in 2000. He also had stock options for the company as well. So
All the political stuff in this episode is just like a hodgepodge of references I pretended to understand while I was listening to American Idiot. really what it all is.
You're like, yeah, man, fucking colon.
Yeah, that guy's probably bad for reasons I don't totally understand.
I think now when you like hear about it, you go like, oh, I should have been like listening to way different music.
Yeah. Perfectly on brand for the time period.
I hurt myself.
Comes out the next goddamn day. So, it's one of those songs that you could just ascribe mountains of meaning, but it is very funny that we are about to hurt ourselves to the tune of trillions of dollars and ocean of blood in terms of Iraq, and this is the next day that this fucking song comes out.
Imagine having balls massive enough to listen to the Nine Inch Nails version of this and go, not sad enough.
Dude.
This is the kind of shit that does make me obsessed with Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
It's like the this is right around the time when I'm in high school and I'm kind of getting fascinated by record producers and shit like that. And this is definitely one of those early things where it was like, oh, like a guy was like, Johnny Cash, what if you fucking play this song, we make you relevant again? And like this whole run of American records and kind of what he's gotten to with a couple of different things is to me like more interesting in a lot of ways than like him with the Beastie Boys and stuff like that, because it is such this weird like guy who's like, I just get to explore Americana and do reclamation acts on things that I think are worthwhile.
Is this the same time with Johnny Cash? I think it's the same record, or at least the same era of like him doing like a bunch of Old Testament like religious stuff.
Yes.
Too. There's a man coming around taking names.
The American series. He did five of those records with Rick Rubin, and they're all fucking phenomenal.
One of my favorite memories of that track, The Man Comes Around, is for some reason Wes Van Horn and I were sitting at Waffle House and got on the riff of "There's a man going round popping corn," and we just turned a bunch of Johnny Cash songs into popcorn songs. And
That's really good.
It's one of my fondest memories. I have no idea what sparked
Man
it.
Comes Around opens the Dawn of the Dead remake in maybe one of the best uses of a song in a movie fucking ever.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what opens? Oh, yeah, that's
the Dawn
right.
of the Dead
Dawn of the
Because
Dead.
I was thinking about it's later in the movie where the Richard Cheese down with the sickness comes in.
Oh yeah, that movie is a 5 out of 5 masterpiece.
Yeah, I do
movie
like
kicks
that.
ass
I like
so
that movie
hard.
quite a
Every
bit.
time I watch it, I'm like, oh, it's actually better than I remembered each time.
Yeah.
February 13th, we get the premiere of Are You Hot? The search for America's sexiest people.
Oh my
This was
God.
where I learned about thigh gap.
So this
Welcome
is
back to Look at These Sluts.
I'm your host, some slut.
Like it's two hot people sitting at a table telling people what's wrong with them because America is processing 9/11.
So I figured this is a great place to talk about the rise of reality TV. We talked about Survivor in 2000. That show was a runaway hit. Now it's 3 years later, and we're really ramping up the stupid. 2003 would see the debut of American Chopper, and that is probably the smartest reality show that was released that year.
The fuck out of that.
Paul
for a
Sr.,
while.
Paul Jr., hell yeah.
That one, they're at least doing a thing.
Yes,
Like,
yes. Well, compared to so we got. I'm just gonna like run these down because there's a bunch of them. The Surreal Life premieres in
that?
2003.
Oh, I loved the Surreal Life.
I did too. First season features MC Hammer, Corey Feldman, Emmanuel Lewis, Vince Neil, and some Playboy model and some other Survivor person. In August, we get the very famous Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica on MTV, which first episode out the gate.
Is this chicken what I have, or is this fish? I know it's tuna, but it says chicken by the sea. Is that stupid?
Jessica Simpson was eating a can of tuna, the brand Chicken of the Sea, and asks, is this chicken or is this tuna?
What a great sacrificial cultural lamb Jessica Simpson.
I know.
Truly,
I know.
both the Simpsons, really.
We were processing so much, and we were just like, fuck that lady.
Yeah,
we really dumped it on
Look
her.
how dumb she
I
is.
think we had a couple of those in the early two. Like Paris Hilton became one of those also.
Right,
We
well,
definitely love to take a blonde lady and just be like, what if
What's
you
also
eviscerate her
weird is
publicly?
that like they've all turned out to be pretty cool. So
Yes,
the American
yeah.
history is
Yeah.
like, oh, we were just wrong across the board.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Yeah.
Turns out we had a big misogyny problem that was fueled by the culture. like when, I know this is in 2003, but when House of Wax come out and they're just like, watch Paris die.
Yeah.
Yes, it's pretty crazy.
Well, speaking of which, in December, we got The Simple Life with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. So those are kind of the big ones, but I wanted to focus on the B squad of reality shows. We've got Married by America. Five single people agree to be paired up, sight unseen, with strangers chosen by America.
We're still kind of doing that.
Yeah, a little
Blind
bit.
is kind of
It's
that.
Love is Blind a little
Yeah.
bit, but this is American Idol where you call in a 1-800 number and vote. Like, you know,
Okay.
I want to see the redhead one get with the blonde one.
That's so
You
crazy.
leave voicemails explaining your vote. Because could somebody feasibly just call and imply they're doing a eugenics project via this person's show?
Those two would make one's a good good skull shape. I want that.
Yeah, I'm into this for the phrenology.
Joseph Mengele is calling in from South America. It does not say what America marries you.
Technicality.
We've got wife swap.
Some Aryan dog boys she might use.
Sew the first two together and have them marry the third one.
What a shirt that says that.
We've got wife swap. We've got average Joe, where ugly guys compete for the affection of a beauty queen.
Can you imagine if a 6 wanted love?
We've got Joe Millionaire, where women compete for the affections of a guy they think is a millionaire, but is actually an ugly idiot.
No, he was hot, but he was a
hot idiot. Hot idiot.
Was he an idiot or was he just broke?
He's broke. He doesn't.
I don't know if he was an
Same
idiot.
thing.
Yeah, fucking loser.
Yeah.
If you were smarter, you wouldn't be a broke piece
Kevin's
of
really
shit.
channeling 2003.
Oh yeah.
I was explaining these just from memory. I don't actually recall the plot of the show.
Oh, I remember Joe Millionaire. For sure.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Because the whole thing was he feels shitty about it.
Yeah.
Like the show is him largely going, like, guys, I think this is a bad show.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to do this anymore.
I feel like I'm hurting all these women who seem really nice.
Look, the economy is actually fucked. Like, I'm actually should be a bellwether for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
We've got Mr. Personality. Dudes are all wearing masks.
Okay.
And we've
I'd be
got
into that.
we've got the littlest groom, which is exactly what you think it is.
Hang on.
There was no way. That must have been one executive in the 2000s who just got shows about that very specific subject made and then was fired and then moved to another show.
Is that one?
It's a little
people.
Yeah, it's just one guy.
I guarantee you that
Wait, so just the guy's little and the ladies are normal?
yeah,
size?
littlest groom.
much like the
That's the show.
much like the Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it started in here. I bet this wasn't the first title that they had.
Can I pitch a reality show they should have made?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because these are like sort of like hinge on like get a load of this guy or like lying to the women.
Yes.
So I think what you do is you set it up like it's a normal dating show. It's like The Bachelor. So you have one normal sized bachelor and a bunch of normal sized ladies.
Yeah.
But then when the lady wins, the bachelor takes off the trench coat he's been wearing the whole season.
Yes.
It's 3 little guys stacked
Oh
on top
my
of each
God.
other.
And then the second phase of the show where she has to choose between the 3 little guys.
Exactly. Yes. Layers on layers.
Which then they reveal, whichever is the winning out of that, is actually 3 dogs, one of which she must adopt.
There you go.
Fuck yeah. I love that. Yeah. The trench coat reveal.
Yeah.
You have an AI British woman. It's trench coat reveal time.
I choose the thorax.
Yeah.
A Russian nesting doll of immediate divorces.
And I can't end this list without mentioning the afternoon reality show on MTV where girls look at cum underneath a black light. Room Raiders.
I remember
the
this.
MTV game show era that is because I imagine if this is happening, the next must be happening around the same time.
I was about to ask the
but
same.
that
Yeah.
might be later.
Yeah, it's later.
Because I remember they were booking for Next in my college at the time.
Oh, wow.
But Room Raiders, what an insane and terrifying
Hey, look,
thing.
I like how Rivers puts it. The show is just them looking at. I know.
Literally, you're waiting for the money shot, which is a black light over a cum.
Did they ever find cum on it?
Yes.
Okay.
All the goddamn time.
Oh, yeah, there was no
I
comment
also
there.
like the idea, though, that, like, wouldn't it be
It was 6
unsettling?
seasons in a movie worth of cum.
you
It's
watch
Chekhov's blacklight. If you introduce a blacklight in Act 1, there must be glowing cum by Act 3. I love the idea, like, they're like,
It has to go off.
they have the pitch deck for the show, and they're like, well, it's either going to be called Room Raiders or Load Lookers. We're still
Load hunters.
catchers.
I like the idea that they find nothing and they're like, this guy's a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Well, where's his cum?
No, he must be coming somewhere crazy.
Probably on a corpse, I bet.
Look inside of the camera, like, where's the cum?
It's Phil Spector Batman again. Where'd you put your cum?
He comes out of the closet. I've been looking for it all day. We're in this together now.
Oh, I hit her in the mouth.
Shine the black light on her mouth, Alfred.
That's why Kurt Loder quit.
Emphasis on load.
Kurt blow a loader.
My deuce. My favorite thing with Room Raiders was always they would have the women would check out the men's rooms and they were always fucking horrifying and disgusting.
Yeah.
And then the dudes would be like, "It's really clean in here. I bet she's a bitch." You're like, and then meanwhile they cut to his room and it's just
She's got like 6 pillows. I bet she's needy.
She doesn't have any fucking video games.
Yeah, why is Grand Theft Auto Vice City in here? It's my favorite game for America.
Hey, when's Alabama going on tour?
Smells like flowers. I hope she's not fat.
He's just meanwhile, he's just got like a 7-layer dip of cum back in his place.
Yeah, I'm working on my dude parfait.
You guys want to know what the granola is?
So
Kidney
you gotta
stones.
what you got to do is you got to let the first layer like dry up so it's like a crust for the pizza, and then you just got to build up from there.
Look, I'm not an idiot. This is normal.
Dude, my uncle taught me how to paint a house. It's like the same
I
concept.
like to take a blowtorch and sort of brulee the top.
Yeah, creme brulee.
We did it, guys. We've reached the end. Blackout on
We're
the
only in February.
If you want the creme brulee, just like ask me like 45 minutes before. 'Cause it takes a
It's
little
gonna
while.
take some time because I can't get hard at work.
I'm thinking of a souffle. I fucked it up.
No. Hey, it still lands. It landed. We all got it.
I'm sure somebody was loving these compounds and then goes, oh, but he doesn't know about French
What a
desserts.
fucking idiot.
What a fucking loser.
So we mentioned it a little bit, but February 14th, Valentine's Day, the perfect Valentine's Day film, Daredevil is
Wake me
released.
up.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
This is really, the first fall of the House of Affleck. There would be many, many more to come. Like, Ben Affleck is a guy who is just constantly, like, either winning an Oscar or smoking cigs outside of a basketball game.
Ben Affleck was like living in a mansion at the top of a hill, and then there keeps being a landslide.
Yes.
He finally stops and he goes, well, at least I'm here. And then another landslide.
Yeah.
He pokes his head out of the house, and that amount of friction moves the ground enough to have him fall.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was when he broke up with J-Lo the first time, right after this. So, and Daredevil was just kind of like, all right, it's open season. We're just clowning on this guy now.
Oh, yeah.
And then, that's the thing. I'm very excited for this second phase of Affleck if this divorce goes through, because this downfall resulted in The fucking Town, which is one of the greatest movies ever.
I do
fucking
I do
made.
like The Town.
So
I do like The
I
Town.
never count out Affleck. I will join in on mocking him, but I'm never counting that guy out.
Affleck will join in mocking Affleck.
Yeah.
And maybe Slane will get another role. That's a rapper that he put in The Town because he's from Charleston.
So the next day, 11 million people take to the street worldwide to protest the upcoming invasion of Iraq.
For a second, I thought they were protesting Daredevil.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's performance was not comics accurate.
Yeah.
Colin Powell's performance.
Keep that black light out of our room and fix this movie.
Put Coolio back in it.
Damn.
February 16th in Antwerp, Belgium, we have a diamond heist, one of the largest diamond heists ever, which is, that's the coolest crime you
That
can
is very
do.
good. That's a good one.
Thieves stole diamonds, gold, silver, and other types of jewelry from the Antwerp Diamond Center, valued at over $100 million.
Crime.
It really is.
Valued over $100 million, though arrests were eventually made. Most of the diamonds were never recovered. So these are just loose, which I think is great.
They're still out there.
If you have a bunch of diamonds, I don't feel bad for you in pretty much any context.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of songs that will absolutely never die, thanks to you fucking soccer hooligans out there listening in the UK, we love you, each and every one, but you're doing this, you're keeping this one alive, because this came out the next fucking day.
This, I very recently at my new job, like the kids were playing this and describing it as an old song.
Yeah,
I realized that the context for it as a sports jam now is so crazy to me.
Oh yeah, and they'll sing it, they'll
This is maybe
do the whole thing.
first song of my lifetime that went from like hip song to super unhip song.
Yeah.
It was because I was in 8th grade when this song came out, and I remember very specifically where I was when I heard it for the first time. I was at my friend who got me into drinking and weed. I was at his place while his broken family existed around us, and we were drinking and listening to the song in his bedroom, drinking vodka that he had found, warm vodka.
Honey, where's my vodka?
And his brother came in and tased us.
I'm sorry, what?
What's crazy is
Hold on.
Don't worry,
And that
he's-
man's name was Bam Margera.
Well, no, it would have been Ryan Dunn because he is dead now.
Oh no.
He died in a meth lab explosion. It's fine.
And you're from the Central Valley. Is that right?
I'm from Sacramento, but it might as well be.
Kevin,
No, you're from Stockton now.
Yeah.
You just got
the
downgraded.
cocktail of California trash that we become a triumvirate.
Oh yeah.
Where every part of your story was less surprising than the last that you told it to me, and I was thinking of a weird analog.
Here's the
'Cause
other
that
thing.
warm vodka thing. I have such a memory of seeing the movie Saw,
Yeah.
and then going to a trailer and watching a guy named Kyle Yoder just lay on the ground and drink a warm bottle of vodka.
Lay on the ground
And that's when we were just like, well, what should we do? The movie's over. You want to go to that guy's house?
and go see a different kind of trap.
Yeah.
See, I remember being 17, sending my mom to rehab and being like, well, she left this bottle of warm vodka. So my buddy came over and we drank a bottle of vodka and played Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I think around this time there was
Ain't no vodka like 2000.
2000 vodka just hit different, dude.
Well, I was gonna say, just mentioning the magic word of trailer brought this up. I think this was around the time a guy I knew was selling coke. He comes over to a trailer that I'm hanging out at to sell coke to another person that I'm friends with. That person grabs the bag out of his hand because he knew he was bitch made, I guess, and ran through the trailer park.
Solid.
And this was on a football Saturday. LSU was in town, and the LSU fans are notoriously kind of fucking, rowdy and crazy. So dude takes off running. Other guy gets in the truck, chases him through the trailer park. And then like an hour later, the first guy who stole the coke runs back in, and he's just covered in blood. And he's got bloody knees, and he's just fucking bleeding. And we were like, oh my God, did he catch up to you? And he's like, no, I got the stuff. And he hells up the coke, and he goes, but yeah, some LSU fans beat the shit out of me.
I caught an unrelated beat.
Yes. So
On the road.
LSU had lost the football game, so they just see a guy running. They're like, hey, get back here. Fucking Cajun weirdos.
He's going fast. Step on his dick.
Yeah. Hey now. There he go.
Where you going real fast with that cocaine?
Yeah.
I don't like your velocity.
I'm gonna boil you in gumbo.
I'm gonna need you to slow down.
Hey, Rivers, make an isolated track of Keith's going, where you wrong with that cocaine?
Where you going with that
I'm
cocaine?
gonna need that to play at the end of a rap song I'm working on.
That's a good soundbite. That's a good soundbite.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's some fuck you can't even sing.
But yeah, Elephant, one of my favorite records of the year, was released April 1st with this as the lead single.
Elephant is the one that has the Union Forever, or is that on White Blood Cells?
I think that's White Blood Cells.
Okay, because I remember like hearing that song and then years later seeing Citizen Kane and going, wait, that song's just quotes from a thing?
February 20th, Olivia Rodrigo is born in Marietta, California. So she's a thing now.
She's a big thing.
And the same
Future lung fluid victim.
Yeah.
Rodrigo.
And the same day, ABC airs Martin Bashir's interview special, Living with Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
I watched the fuck out of this.
No.
This is the lay in the bed thing and they get in the big tree.
Oh, it's the weirdest quote. This takes a turn that you could give a million people a million chances to guess the thing he says after he says he sleeps in the bed, and no one would get it.
This is a guy trying to help heal a child. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor.
Okay.
I gave him the bed.
Okay.
Because he has a brother named Star.
Okay.
So him and Star took the bed, and I'm on the floor in the sleeping bag.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children.
Okay.
I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side. Macaulay Culkin's on this side.
Okay.
His sister's in there.
Word.
We all would just jam in the bed. Then we wake up like dawn and go in a hot air balloon.
No one on Earth was ready for then we wake up at dawn and go up in the hot air balloon. It's like
At dawn.
at dawn.
The crack of dawn.
You don't want to do it before it gets too
You
hot.
can't let them see you putting the kids in the balloon.
I think that's the trick of Michael Jackson. He's like, if I make everything you're going to do here sound like a lie,
Whimsical,
no one
yeah.
will believe the one.
Right. It's two truths and a lie. Like the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, you got fingered and then you went on a roller coaster with a monkey. Like, yeah.
Sure, whatever.
Well,
I haven't looked at the what Michael Jackson looked like at that point in a while. He looks like, I forget which Texas Chainsaw Massacre it is, where Leatherface has the mask that's a lady.
Yep. That is accurate.
Oh my God.
I will say this. This is what's always fascinated me is like in the 2000s, Michael Jackson is a
Existed.
child molesting ghoul.
He's just around.
And everybody's making fun of what a piece of like child molesting garbage he is and how we shouldn't listen to his music. And then he died and we fucking forgot.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago or whatever, that documentary came out. Like, did you guys know that the thing everybody knew up until like 7
The thing that he often said on
You
television.
know what he was almost more famous for before he died? Did you know that whole set? It was that kind of blew my mind. We were like, have you watched that? No, I lived through it happening when it was in the news and everyone talked about it and made jokes.
That was like the third time it had happened by that point.
Well,
Like,
this is my thing. Fair to assume the man doesn't know how to pilot a hot air balloon by himself. I want to talk to the hot air balloon pilot.
Oh, the guy who's pulling the thing?
Yeah, the guy just lighting the fire and doing the
name is
thing like
Kieran Culkin.
they wake
hey,
him.
man, I know two things: hot air balloons and keep it secret.
That's
All you gotta do is
every fucking
pay
hot air
me in
balloon guy.
bush light.
In order to
My eyes are on the fire. I'm not looking at nothing.
well, that's the thing. In order to go up, in
How many
order
Culkins you put in here?
in order to
We got a 5 Culkin fucking max capacity anymore. We're gonna have to throw. I don't know who was the one who was in Scott Pilgrim. He's
Rory.
Rory.
Kieran was in Scott Pilgrim.
Kieran-
Rory was in that other one.
I don't know. Pick the one with the
Kieran's
dumbest
inside.
Irish name and throw him out of the fucking basket.
Which one of you hearts Huckabees?
But the heart, the fucking ground.
Yeah. But that's the thing. In order to get a balloon filled with air, you have to start a couple hours early. So this guy gets a call at 2 a.m. Hey, you won't believe what we're going to do at dawn. So he has to go out, light
like
a
to think
fire.
it was planned.
He's got to go out to Santa Barbara.
Yeah. All right.
Come to my horse farm.
Are you ready to drive to San Jacinto or
I
whatever
got
the
some.
fuck?
I got some kids I got to take up into the sky in the morning.
February 20th, by the way, it's a big day because like we've got the Michael Jackson interview while that is airing in Rhode Island during a concert by the band Great White.
Oh yeah!
The station nightclub fire occurs because the people who built the soundproofing used extremely flammable soundproofing, and Great White insisted to continue living their 80s hair metal aesthetic. They had to have pyro even in a small club.
It's wild that like melting James Hetfield to a skeleton was not enough for people to start questioning stage pyro.
Well, that's a freak accident. If you're doing it in an arena, fine. It's when you're like an 80s washed out throwback band and you're like, let's set off some shit in this tiny room.
Look, without incriminating anything long term, let's say that I worked in a fly by night comedy operation once, and we learned pretty early on that fire is the thing we have to discourage. After me and somebody else lit a sparkler for a sketch, and very quickly we're like, oh, we need to end this sketch right now.
Yeah. You just immediately smoke bombing the whole room.
Always crazier than you think it's going to be, no matter how much you think you practice. All of a sudden, the room is hot, and there are people, and sparks can go anywhere.
I one time in a full max capacity comedy club in Alabama watched Jamar Neighbors' That Will Go Unnamed light a Confederate flag on fire and watched everyone realize very quickly we did not have a step 2 to the plan.
Now that we're here, I don't have a pivot.
It turns out your fucking doesn't matter how funny the dialogue is if there is fire aimed at the audience.
It's a little alarming.
Yeah, so the station nightclub fire killed 100 people, including Great White's guitarist Ty Longley, and injured over 300 others.
Jesus.
Great White's tour manager, Dan...
400 turnout for Great White's number.
I was going to say good for Great White up until bad for Great White.
Here's a little thing. Good for Great White. Keep in mind, this is Rhode Island. There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
But this is...
You can't even let them have that.
But almost filling
it's a papered room,
almost
whatever.
filling what is most definitely a 500-seater with 400. That's a pretty good fucking night.
Yeah.
Dan Beacheld and the club owners, Jeffrey and Michael Durandirian, were charged with 200 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
200.
And at trial, they faced up to 6,000 years in jail.
Holy shit.
Did you say 6,000 years?
6,000 total amongst the three guys.
4,000 with good
so
behavior.
2,000 each.
Yeah, we'll get you out. We'll get you out in the millennia.
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
could.
Wait, I want to check the numbers. How many people died?
100 people.
So 100 people died, 200 counts of manslaughter?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Oh, well, it was combined between the three.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
each one of them gets a count.
All right.
Yeah.
The math on that just seems wonky, but I don't want to figure it out.
Yeah.
It adds up to 6,000 years. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It makes sense.
I just don't want anyone getting overcharged.
Look, I don't want to call into our
The
Justice Department.
the people had electoral values.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're all from Rhode Island, so they only count as
Rivers,
fourth
I'm
of
gonna
a
throw this
person.
out. When we get to March 2003, can I have another drink?
Oh, you can have another drink right now, Daddy. What you want?
Let's see. Let's do.
I might jump in on another one of those.
This is citrus.
I had citrus.
Okay, you want a citrus?
I'll rock that citrus.
All right.
I'll take either
There's
the
a melon.
melon.
What you
I'll
want,
take
Kev?
whatever you got. Dealer's choice.
All right, this one
Let me
is
get that apricot.
Apricot.
you
There
go.
we go. Let's do it.
'Cause I know what they taste like.
Someone went to fucking college.
You know how excited I am?
Sorry, we didn't all go to Fruit Academy with you and your meth lab friend.
Cheers,
you
folks. Cheers. Oh yeah.
Mazel.
Are you
Fruit
guys-
Academy is what my dad called film school.
Goddamn.
Yeah, what did you fucking major in prancing? With a minor in and going, nah.
Minor in disappointment.
Me and Dad, you're really funny.
I
Real
hate
quick,
you, but I like
my
to be
dad
fun
was
about
Don Rickles.
Before we lose the apricots, I bought one of those Taschen advertisements of the 70s books. They have them for every decade.
Okay.
They're like pure heroin to me because just you want 70s ephemera whenever you need it. I'm like, yeah.
Into it.
They have like different types of ads. At one point, they have one, and there's a douche ad from the 70s that's a lady and a dude chilling on a picnic blanket. And it just says, Marie doesn't need to douche, but she knows I love apricots.
Dude, I'm gonna turn that shit into a apricot.
Right?
Let's go.
It is a wild thing. And I was like, this was a magazine ad.
It feels like a 70s fruit, though,
Yes.
doesn't it? It's like the apricot is the official
Absolutely.
fruit of like wife swapping in a conversation.
Yeah. Dried.
Oh, did you say conversation
dried.
pit? That's good. That's good. That's
Dried
really good.
apricots, especially.
Oh, there you go,
They
yes.
turn up in gorp sometimes. Just like,
The official fruit to eat in a long gas line.
Yeah. February 21st, we've got 3 major releases. 2 great. One, we've got Old School.
Hey,
That's a hell of a Friday night, y'all.
That's good.
Great movie.
for
Dolly.
many years, my mom's favorite movie.
Really?
Is that right?
I
Oh,
believe that.
Until The Hangover overseeded it. No,
hell
Is
yeah.
your mom a 15-year-old boy?
she sure is. I've been keeping Deadpool a secret, and it terrifies me.
Oh my god! I want your mom to become a Deadpool pro now. That
can't-
rules.
Chimichangas.
She can't text message people, but she's fucking killing it on Fortnite all of a sudden.
And then we got 2 on HBO. Dolly G Show premieres on HBO.
Okay.
Having, shout out to our British listeners. We know it was there long before, but for Americans,
Now it was on real TV.
this is real TV. Yeah.
Now it matters.
Yeah.
Your weird hand cranked dirigible fucking bullshit fake television. Don't blow Doctor Who. Nobody cares about what you're doing.
And still somehow on the air, Real Time with Bill Maher premieres on this night as well. So there's my.
And it's he's so relevant and good.
Shout out there because it's still online. Go check it out. When he got COVID, Lisa Curry, who has decided that Bill Maher is her mortal enemy,
Shout out to Lisa.
realized that instead of hiring a fill-in host, that no one could do Bill Maher's job, so she put together herself as Bill Maher and assembled a crew and writing staff of professional women in the industry who all hate Bill Maher.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they made an episode of Real Time in a week to fill in that episode they didn't do.
That's
Go search
so
Lisa
good.
Curry, Bill Maher. It's one of my favorite things that's ever happened.
Is it still, you can still see
I
awesome.
believe
that?
this is still
Yeah,
out
I
there
wanna
in the
see
world.
that. I
gotta watch that.
It's truly like one of the
Lisa's very
great
funny.
things. Like,
My favorite things that have happened with Mar recently. If anybody's seen Tim Heidecker's send up of his Club Random podcast where he's interviewing Fred Armisen, fucking one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And then in real life,
because my brain just made the connection that that's what that was.
yeah. Well, and then in real life, he was interviewing Richard Dreyfuss, and Dreyfuss starts off kind of slumped in this chair, and I'm not kidding. By the end, his ass is on the ground and his shoulder blades are up against the seat of the chair,
yeah.
and he's so fucking drunk, and he's just going, "Yeah, I mean, Israel should be able to do whatever they want." So Bill Maher is, if he's going to continue to produce some of the most unintentionally great comedy of all time. But
Fuck him.
I like that Richard Dreyfuss falls off a chair the same way my friend's fat dog used to.
Yeah. Just very slowly over the course. Like if you watch it at 2 times speed, it's like a time lapse. You would slowly see him falling.
It's like
out
a
of the chair.
glacial drift.
Yeah, straight up. Also, Bill Burr just destroying Bill Maher because nobody has ever
Incredible.
called him out for being a fucking nerd, which is what he is.
Yeah.
So watching him get abused by a man from Massachusetts, awesome.
Start the clock. Good afternoon. At the tone, time will be real time.
Like you just solved the Middle East on a podcast. Why can't they solve what they're doing on a podcast?
This is why this is not your thing.
Make some hard-nosed decisions. It's not your thing. It's what you.
It is my
It isn't
thing.
your
This
thing.
is not
It
your
isn't.
thing.
You're like that guy
Plain
that
it.
has a fantasy football team and thinks he's a fucking GM.
No.
That's exactly what it is. Like, why am I fucking listening to you like you've done something? What have you done in Washington? Nothing.
February 22nd, we got a freak show boxing match in Memphis, Tennessee. It's an undercard bout featuring Tanya Harding. Losing in a 4-round decision. Also, Mike Tyson beats fringe contender Clifford Etienne, who's 49 seconds into the first round, so not much. But here's the fun thing. Clifford later goes on to do a crime spree in Baton Rouge. He got his ass kicked so bad by Mike Tyson that in 2005, he was charged with armed robbery, kidnapping, and attempted murder of a police officer.
Well, I like one of those.
He allegedly robbed a local business, carjacked a vehicle containing a woman and her child, and then pulled a gun on the cops. He was sentenced to 105 years in prison. So this is the year of cartoonish prison sentences.
I think the prison system might be having the best year.
How do you get to 6,000 years? I've heard about like life, double life, like triple life.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard
Because sometimes your job is boring and you want to have fun.
I get it.
Okay?
Keep bit
Sometimes
whimsical.
You're sitting there and going, you know what? Fuck it. They get 6,000.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't care. It's Friday,
and we
tired.
we're gonna keep their dust in there
Yeah.
for 6,000 years.
We're going to jail for infinity billion years.
Yeah, infinity plus one.
Yeah,
infinity plus
we're
one.
gonna freeze you before you die, and then keep you there for a billion years.
We're gonna wake you up once a day to feed you.
February 23rd, the 45th annual Grammy Awards are absolutely fucking dominated by Norah Jones.
Yeah.
So
Remember when she was the solution to everything?
she won Best Record, Best Album, Song of the Year, Best New Artist, Best Female Pop Vocalist. They did not have a host. They did it shotgun style like a good open mic should.
Yeah.
And NSYNC did a tribute to the Bee Gees.
She might be like the apex of adult contemporary. No, it's Coldplay. I forgot that that's about that.
Well, that's
their
what
neck
I
and neck.
that's
This
what
is
I
Bublé erasure.
She's like the Silver Surfer before Coldplay comes over and devours the planet.
Yeah.
I like this is about to suck.
I just like a guy being like, I like two things: Bublé, Coldplay. Those are my two favorites.
Bublé, Coldplay.
You throw out a little Bublé, you get that hot air balloon going up. It's a good time.
Oh, there's nothing like just haven't met you yet when you got a bunch of Kilkin kids and a big balloon.
Fly these kids to the moon. Don't tell their parents what happened here.
I'm being paid in lots of money and beer.
I don't sleep so good at night.
The sounds I hear ain't right.
Hang my child out the window. Drop them to the floor.
Are you guys familiar with the fact that there's a film called Man in the Mirror that VH1 made that is a TV movie about the back years of Michael Jackson?
Oh, no.
That involves that documentary, a fictional version of that documentary getting made that ends with him dancing on the car.
Oh yeah.
I remember that scene.
I followed that movie like being hyped on VH1 to go, and I made my family stay in one night on a vacation in Orlando so we could watch the insane Michael Jackson TV movie.
I have a sincere question about the casting on that movie. Like, do you cast a black guy or a white guy?
I
Like, what do you
believe
do?
it's a black guy, and then they put him in a ton of insane makeup.
They hunk
He
him
does
up.
look
Didn't
banana.
they cast Rachel Dolezal?
How excited were you when you realized, like, I can make it? Opens up the favorites door. I knew you'd be good again.
Yeah, finally.
So February 27th, Mr. Rogers dies. That just reminded me because I watched the documentary.
None of us went off for all the hundreds of people who died in the Great White. We blew past
Mr. Rogers,
but Mr. Rogers.
Hell yeah. I watched the documentary about him at the Los Feliz 3, and I was sitting behind a man wearing a Coachella-ass wide-brimmed hat. So that kind of ruined the day for me. Speaking of having your day ruined, March 1st, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the alleged mastermind of... is arrested in Pakistan.
That's good radio.
We're not even saying it.
It just got censored.
Every time you hear 9/11, turn the page.
Yeah. He's arrested in Pakistan. Immediately after his capture, Mohammed was extraordinarily rendered to secret CIA prison sites in Afghanistan and then Poland, where he was tortured by U.S. operatives. He tells the CIA that he did absolutely every crime. He was the king of Al Qaeda and that no one could do this rap shit better than him. It's almost as if when you torture someone, they'll tell you everything you want to hear and more. He is still in Guantanamo Bay awaiting trial. Trial! Trial! 21 fucking years.
Well, I mean, the trial's going to take 100. So
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll give him plenty of sentences.
Oh, yeah.
March 10th, during a concert in London, England, Dixie Chicks lead singer Natalie Maines said that the band was ashamed that the president of the United States was from Texas. Dixie Chicks received death threats, were blacklisted by many country radio stations, and were criticized by other country musicians.
Texas.
How embarrassed do you think? Do you think any of those people are embarrassed now that like history has proven that he was awful? Or
Yeah, well, no, of course not.
Talking about?
Are you
never
aware of where we
apologize.
are?
You look around America and go, you know what everyone's gotten is a lot smarter.
I'm full of remorse for
actually,
anything.
they
This
probably
seems
also,
like a brilliant time in American history
Full of
compared
empathy.
to now.
I was gonna say this earlier. We were talking about the protests because like one of the things like about like not to bring up Israel Palestine, which of course Israel has the right to defend itself. Slump over drunk, but
Get that slide whistle.
The thing like people on Twitter being like, I don't know why people are so up in arms about the Israeli genocide of Palestine. Like, where were these people when we invaded Iraq? I'm like, everywhere. They were everywhere. What are you talking about?
Should we do the?
I forgot you have a desk full of merch.
I have a Dr. Demento drawer. Everybody.
Yes.
You just pulled out your Israel kazoo.
Israel.
We need a 2 goofy instrument solution.
Oh yeah, I got shakers. I got spoons, all kinds
Israel
of stuff.
Kazoo is the name of the drug dealer in that story from earlier.
Yeah. So sales of the Dixie Chicks music and concert tickets declined. They lost corporate sponsorship from brands like Lipton, who are pretty fucked up themselves. Just Google Lipton Tea Plantations, Kenya.
Oh my God.
On May 21st, at the CMA Awards, the Dixie Chicks nomination for Entertainer of the Year was announced to Booze. The award was given to Toby Keith, who had displayed a banner with Maines beside Saddam Hussein at his concerts.
Okay, but if you told me that tour was coming to town, I'd buy a ticket.
Yeah.
She also walked out on stage wearing a t-shirt that said FUTK. So, right.
I mean, fuck Toby Keith.
Who would have thought, like, one of the most punk rock people in the entire fucking 2000s is the lead singer of the Dixie Chicks?
If only somebody goodbye Earled Toby Keith.
I feel like this is a great take, but let me point this out. What the fuck have the Dixie Chicks been doing as far as bars and grills go?
Oh.
Because I, like Toby Keith, love his bar and grill.
Yeah.
Where's their Margaritaville?
The Chicks, because they're just the Chicks now. Too.
They're just the
Not
Chicks.
a great. It's a band that's sort of disintegrating by doing the right thing. Right. Like it's literally every time they make a right move, the band really kind of like falls apart.
Yeah.
Well, no, but this is the thing with their band nowadays. Nobody remembers any of this shit. The people who are like currently fans of this grew up with this shit. They don't know any of this, so they
just want to hear wide open.
They could sell fucking anything out. Yeah, they still rule. I don't know. I'm very, very partial to.
See, I don't know
to
any
them.
Dixie. I can't remember any Dixie Chick song, but I remember all this and be like,
"Goodbye,
that's cool.
Earl," where they murder a piece of shit.
I did a list cast on Unpops with best songs about murder, and that got number 3.
Goodbye, Earl. It's a banger, dude.
That was one of my picks.
Also, almost as if
Money and Run make that list.
No, but it did was Hey Joe.
Hey, there you go.
That was also one of my picks. I got 4 out of the 5 seeds on it. I killed it. I got Pumped Up Kicks on there.
What about Amos? What about Amos Moses? He feeds a sheriff to an alligator.
No, but I love that.
Jerry Reed, baby.
I believe it's pronounced alligator.
Yeah. Used it for alligator.
Alligator gonna eat this sheriff.
You running too fast.
Why you going so fast? I'm gonna feed you to that gator, boy.
Oh, my favorite line about it.
You going too speedy? You gonna be chow.
He feeds the cop to the alligator, and then Jerry Reed goes, "Well, I wonder where that Louisiana sheriff went to." So,
get no shit out of badge.
So with all this going on, almost as if on cue, the same day, "Have You Forgotten" is released by Daryl Woolery, which is it's a song about a certain topic.
Is this Where Were You?
Actually,
No,
I
that's Alan Jackson. This is "Have You Forgotten." They're the same goddamn song. Just one of them is
there was also a third song by another person that was "What Happened."
Where'd the building go?
Where'd the building go? There was a big building. Now there's a big pile.
Why you so tall?
Why you so tall? You fall down.
So
there's a big pile.
So speaking
of crater smoldering,
where's my friend? How come City Crazy? I don't know who this guy is anymore.
Yeah, he's a Cajun New Yorker. Yeah. Oh, out there down there on Broadway.
Oh, damn. How many alligators gonna do this?
Yeah.
When I'm still not as bad as Giuliani.
When I'm carrying my baby around Prospect Park in a Bjorn. Oh, daddy.
I'm walking here.
Women don't look at me till I got a baby. You get your
psycho.
This guy mourning 9/11 still.
You get yourself a dog, and then you find yourself a woman, and then you get yourself a baby, and then you find more women, and then you leave the baby and the dog, and they get a new one.
That's how you get laid on 9/11.
The Prospect Park Cajun cheater. Why? What happened?
He played on 9/11. Crazy what happened. Anyway, what you sign?
This is why we're too close to it. It's like radiation waves making us mad. It's like fucking annihilation. Like the deeper we get into the 2000s, the closer we get to 9/11 jokes.
Going into the Ark of the Covenant.
March 11th, following France's opposition to the proposed invasion of Iraq, Republican U.S. Representatives Bob Nye and Walter B. Jones direct the 3 House cafeterias to change all references to French fries and French toast to Freedom Fries and Freedom Toast.
I forgot about that.
Yo, I had a friends band in high school. They had a song called Freedom Fries. That's what you call a punk band song.
Yeah.
I have a picture I'll put up on our Discord and on Twitter of me standing. I thought it was very funny at the time because I was a fucking radical, man. They had a Freedom Fries like taco truck kind of situation at a festival I went to in Birmingham. So it's just me with a Ashton Kutcher-esque trucker hat and basically this exact same shirt, but way bigger, standing in front, just like, hey, look how dumb this fucking is.
I would have taken a picture with that too.
I want to take a picture.
And I would have wished I'm wearing my Winston Cup racing trucker hat I was recently given. It is a race that was sponsored by a cigarette company.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's posing in front of the truck like, these guys are fucking lame. As soon as the camera's going, can you put cheese on those?
Yeah.
Freedom cheese.
Freedom cheese.
Freedom cheese.
This is sort of related.
America bacon bits.
This is sort of related. This is from the Associated Press. Right-thinking ice cream lovers are getting their just desserts from the Star Spangled Ice Cream Company.
Jesus Christ.
This is the company's flavor offerings include I hate the French vanilla.
Oh my God, that rules.
Iraqi Road.
Okay, now I'm on. Now I'm board.
Donald Rum Raisin.
How much does it suck to think something you should have been hired to do?
They get pretty shaky here.
Okay.
School prayer leans and cream.
Shit, get the fuck. Go away.
Smaller government. MINT.
Is that at least
Can I mint chocolate
smaller
chip?
government chip?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Nutty environmentalist.
That's not even anything.
Can I follow up and ask what's in that?
Yeah, this one's called fucking I don't like Puerto Rican fudge. Like
They killed it.
anyway, we're deporting all the Choco Tacos.
They killed it so hard with Iraqi Road they couldn't come back.
Rocky Road is solid.
Yeah.
I hate the French vanilla. We forgot about that already.
Neapolitan, but all the flavors go to their own schools.
The nutty environmentalist flavor was later changed to gun nut when it was endorsed by Ted Nugent.
That doesn't sound like him at all.
The company's Richard Lessner says the premium brand is for people who love Ben & Jerry's taste, but not their liberal politics. The website offered 4 quarts of this stuff for the patriotic price of $76, which is roughly $130.
Oh my God.
For 4 quarts of ice cream.
Is that like... That's what happens when you're full of hate is you have to pay a bunch of money.
Yeah.
It's a being an asshole tax.
And we're still doing this,
Yes.
but like I honestly, the products now aren't even doing fun.
They're not even
puns.
ice cream.
No, at least this one is like, okay, these are like kind of jokes or whatever.
Yeah,
Now it's just like every 6 months, like some Ben Shapiro fucking
you have a mug of liberal tears.
Yeah, do you want beer that hates fucking trans people?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
get a catalytic converter that would never talk to a black lady. Like,
so March 17th, Punk'd premieres and Bush delivers his ultimatum to Saddam Hussein on the same day.
Don't you do that.
To be fair,
We're gonna get
it was
you.
the one episode. It was both. With cut back and forth.
Yeah, he punked him a little bit.
So he says
Saddam was in the first episode of Punk. Like the Chappelle Show kicked off strong. So did this.
He's like, why is my waiter always Dax Shepard?
what's up? I'm Ashton Kutcher. This week we told George W. Bush there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
There's an easy up right outside the spider hole, and we're gonna prank his ass.
So he says that Saddam
Bam
Hussein
Margera is playing Saddam Hussein.
What's up? I'm Bam Margera. I'm gonna fucking blowing up a country all fucking year.
Guys, don't put me in a spider hole. There's snakes in
Me
there.
and Don Vito are going to cut off some clips.
Wait, you mean elusive Chinese billionaire Don Vito? That's a reference to another episode of this podcast.
Right. There's snakes in the hole. Don't put me in the spider hole into Creed.
Dude, I'm fucking seriously not joking. There's snakes down here.
Dude, the skating into Creed fucking sucks.
This fucking hole's minging, dude.
Dude, I'm in Fallujah. April and Phil are going to be fucking pissed.
Dude, this fucking war is haggard. Haggard backwoods shit.
That's the best hour of my life.
We're only in March.
Yeah. I'm trying to speed this along. We got pizza coming, gentlemen.
Let's go.
So, Bush delivers his ultimatum. He says that Saddam Hussein and his sons must leave Iraq within 48 hours. Their refusal to do so will result in a military conflict. He makes the correct point that the Congress had overwhelmingly approved the use of military support in Iraq. Amongst those who supported the war are Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, Adam Schiff, Hillary Clinton, and Egyptian gold hoarder Bob Menendez. Good thing we don't hear from any of these people anymore. It's been a long time. They all went away.
Yeah, good God.
Okay, so March 18th, Dan Brown releases The Da Vinci Code. The last time most Americans read.
True.
Yeah, well, that was like a big. That was like, I guess that's one of the last times there was like a big. But other than like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, aside from series, I guess it is start of the series.
It's the same reason why I have to be supportive of 50 Shades of Grey. I just need my people to read fucking books.
Yeah, totally. Twilight.
I'm not standing by at the place where it's like they got to be good books. I don't continue reading at all. It's what I need.
It can be BDSM slop. It doesn't matter.
50 Shades of Grey ruined books and fucking.
I also can never judge those because, like, literally the reason I started to read is that I had read so much young adult fiction or like old sci-fi and I was like, this is great, but there's an upper limit of how much I'm going to enjoy this. And then learned how many books are full of sex and drugs and violence. I was like, oh, books fucking rule.
Yeah.
I look like I'm doing homework and I'm reading nothing but things that are like damaging and insane.
Right.
And so that, like, I feel like that's always been my point. I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter. Depravity creates literacy.
It's true. It's true.
Wanted to shout out M. Ward releases Transfiguration of Vincent on that day, one of my favorite records of the entire decade.
And all of America went, no, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Once I finish Captain Beefheart, I'll be there.
I gotta see Daredevil again, but then it's next on my list.
But more importantly, on that same day, the FBI raids Health South, a chain of rehabilitation hospitals headquartered in Birmingham, Alabama. CEO and white man, very crucial to note, Richard Scrushy, he is indicted on charges of overseeing a $2.7 billion conspiracy to defraud shareholders of Health South.
Whoa.
He becomes the first person indicted under the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Important to note, about 70% of Birmingham is African-American, and of the 18 jurors that would eventually try Scrushy, 11 of them are also black. And so, during his trial, and this was the funniest shit in Alabama at the time. So during his trial, Richard Scrushy began attending black churches. Thinking that he would somehow get one over on a jury of his peers by literally singing in the choir.
Right.
And so everybody's just like, we know what you're doing, man. And then he doubled down by hiring an entirely black defense team.
Sure.
And I should add that everyone else at Health South had pled out. He's the only person going to trial, and they had all pled out being like, it was him.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's
His
so
lawyer
fucked.
Yes.
was O.J. Simpson.
So he also began donating lots of money to these churches. Scrushy and his wife also began hosting a daily evangelical television show taped at the Guiding Light Church, and it was intended for audiences in Birmingham. In one of the first episodes of the show Viewpoint, he compared the news media to that old Satan sneaking in the back door.
Wait, he started
You know how the devil says things that are true.
Yeah.
You don't like them.
He's literally
The
like...
devil also noticed my scam.
So he later used the pulpit as for his views on God, morality, and federal efforts to put him in jail and seize his $278 million fortune.
Weird how those are all tied together.
During the closing arguments, attorney Donald Watkins reminded the jury of the struggles of the civil rights era in Alabama. So
I'm sort of the Martin Luther King of taking all your money.
he got his black lawyer to be like, that's my defense.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so his
Is
lawyer...
that the inception of conservatives misappropriating MLK to be
Dude,
like,
I
he
mean-
loved nonviolent protests. He loved the cops. Leave him
Kinda.
alone.
If you're that black lawyer, you gotta like hear that's the plan and be like, I'm gonna need another zero on the end of the check. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, with an adjustment to my rate, we can do this.
Yeah, he
My rate right now is whatever MC Hammer lost per hour.
Per hour.
we've entered into what I call Cochrane overtime.
So he also reminded the jury that juries had really helped the civil rights movement succeed. Here's the fucked part, though. Scrushy was acquitted.
What?
So the government had a case that you could drive a fucking truck through. Like, basically, you have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and they left enough of that to make it let him go. The obvious efforts to suck up to the black population of Birmingham is just extra funny.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. They had an HBO documentary about Scrooge where they talked about this whole thing and they were cutting to some of the jurors and stuff, and they were just like, do you think we're that dumb? Like, we knew what he was doing. It was just like, fuck the government, though.
That's a good point.
And I was like, man, you Solomon's babied that case perfectly. It's like, I see you, bitch. I know what you're doing, but fuck them more.
Fuck the government and this old white dick.
Yeah.
That's the best story ever.
I love Scrooge. He was like, man, back when newspapers hired such things, every Alabama political cartoon was Scrooge for like a fucking year.
Absolutely.
Just wild. And speaking of wild, March 19th, 2003, the Iraq War officially begins. Bombs over Baghdad.
Somewhere only we.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So 4 days later, Steve Martin.
This is going to be the best spring break.
MTV Spring Break Fallujah.
For 6 full days, we're going to party.
Caduce is here.
Oh my God, is that Baghdad Bob? Wow. The stars are out tonight. So 4 days later, Steve Martin is hosting the 75th Annual Academy Awards. This was the first Oscar ceremony broadcast in high definition. Chicago wins Best Picture. Child rapist Roman Polanski gets a standing ovation for The Pianist.
God damn
He was not there.
I think you said for his penis.
Yeah.
It's both.
We know.
Don't be Roman Polanski and call a movie The Pianist.
Yeah, why did he think that was going to work out?
I don't think he did. He worked out fine. He got nominated for an Academy Award.
Wow.
Thanks his hot air balloon pilot and his acceptance.
I was about to say, wow, you did it in Angelica Houston's hot tub, huh? That's crazy.
I don't know who the winner of this year is, but I know the loser appears to be children.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, that is very true. We have hit on a lot of this already.
So for some reason, Polanski didn't show up to the awards, but he did get a standing O. Shortly after winning the Academy Awards for Best Documentary Feature, Michael Moore got up and said,
We live in a time where we have a man sending us to war for fictitious reasons. We are against this war, Mr. Bush. Shame on you, Mr. Bush. Shame on you.
And he got booed.
I remember that.
So they were all about some Roman Polanski, but this guy just saying something very fucking obvious.
Because I was a little bit like, I'm assuming it was probably the same for you guys, but like I remember like the general vibe, at least where I grew up, and definitely for where Keith grew up, I'm sure, was just Michael Moore's the biggest piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my mom threw shit at this. My mom was so pissed.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
She threw a beer at the TV.
You know,
Can we watch the Oscars every year? She would let me be so gay.
I would say also just a fun little anecdote about Michael Moore. When I worked at Fox, I worked for Fox Entertainment for a little bit, and we had a new VP come into our department whose name was just Michael Moore. Mm-hmm. And they didn't announce it to the shareholders because they were like, we didn't want to get him confused and angry.
Why? Like they thought you hired the documentary?
Yeah, they thought that Michael Moore joins VP of Fox Entertainment.
Noted labor union activist Michael Moore is going to head a studio. Yes.
Yeah, it was just funny that they were like, no, we didn't announce it publicly because people would get confused. Yeah. It shows a lot about their base.
That Michael Moore at the Oscars moment is like when people on the right now are like, oh, Hollywood's like full of like elite liberals who want to poison you.
That.
Show them that and be like, no, it's full of cowards.
Yeah,
like that's
100%.
The culture was pro-war.
Yeah, whatever is very popular is what they
like. But you've
like.
got to remember, then that person goes, but wait, cut back to earlier. Who were they standing and applauding for?
Was it Joe Pesci that was like, I'd beat the shit out? No, he said that about Sinead O'Connor. Never mind. About the Pope thing. When he's like, I would slap that broad.
That goes into Italian law. I don't know the rules there. Like
Italian law.
There is weirdly in a moment going to be a very uncomfortable connection between something that happened on Saturday Night Live and this moment. But figure mention it for the boys. March 28th, Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Damn it, get her done! Yeah, that movie came out.
My sister's covered in mold.
Yeah, holy moly. We're going to take 15 minutes to get to holy moly.
I'm from Pennsylvania, but I talk like this.
No, it's worse. Nebraska.
Oh, Nebraska.
Zero accent on that man, Dan Whitney. March 30th, WrestleMania 19, Triple H versus Booker T. Stone Cold Steve Austin's last match until a couple years ago when he came back. But more importantly, Brock Lesnar attempts a shooting star press, which, if you don't know, that is where you stand on the top rope, do a backflip, and then land on your belly on top of your opponent. Brock Lesnar, not able to pull that move off, and lands directly on his head during his match with Kurt Angle. Go look it up on YouTube.
I think I've seen that clip
shocking.
before.
You know where I knew that story was going to go bad? The word attempt.
And he attempts and pulls it off?
Yeah. Everything goes fine. That's why it's on the list.
Story.
Not sure why Rivers is bringing it up.
I didn't mention many video games because I don't know shit about video games, and there were no GTAs released this year, but I definitely remember this one. April 1st, Def Jam Vendetta.
Dude, that game ruled so hard.
Why?
Spectacularly hard.
It was good.
The chaos that would be unleashed if they brought this concept back.
Oh my God.
I can't believe there wasn't more crazy shit happening in the hip-hop community when they had this. If they brought it back the way they do like UFC and WWE games where everyone has like strength rankings.
Oh, yeah. This is how they would have settled the Kendrick Drake beef.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, there was actually people like creating them in and doing Def Jam Vendetta.
The real heroes in this country are people who custom make wrestling characters year after year.
Oh yeah. Shout out to our friend out in Victorville made us a couple of years ago. Me, Pat, and Goodnight into WWE 2K characters.
The Pat one looks too much like Pat.
Yeah, and I love that he gave him a graduation hat. April 7th, U.S. captures Baghdad. 2 days later, a statue of Saddam Hussein is pulled down. It turns out that statue had only been up for a year, which I didn't know that.
So they couldn't even do the preserving their history.
Yeah, that's right. It's
Bummer
like,
if you're the guy who built it.
I
worked really hard.
I just finished.
Yeah. So I knew this was going to take a second, so I had to mention April 11th, Anger Management, a movie that I saw only because I was really getting into like films at that point, and I had seen About Schmidt and I had seen Punch Drunk Love, so I was like, this is going to rule. And then I forgot it was Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson and Woody Harrelson.
It's a movie about the best way to do therapy is to gaslight someone until they lose their mind and try to fuck their girlfriend, and then apparently you're a genius. I watched it very recently. I was doing an Adam Sandler run. I was watching all of them, and like Jack Nicholson is still really good in that movie, but that movie I used to like have the rose-colored glasses thing for it for sure.
Yeah,
like, it was not. Same with Mr. Deeds, by the way, but we don't have time to get into that.
Yeah, but same day. More importantly, Kyle, it's House of a Thousand Corpses.
One of my favorite movies of all fucking time.
I concur.
Let me begin by saying that the best fucking thing about this was in the fall of 2002, this school year, my junior year. It's part of my whatever it is. Sid Haig came to speak to my drama class because he lives in Simi Valley where I was at. And the first thing that happens is the teacher shows a fucking clip of him from some old Western show. And then it's like, all right, you can just Q&A. Don't have a ton of story, just fucking ask shit. And like somebody was like, they asked a couple things, but because we'd had the guy who played the dad in Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
He came, and that fucking asshole was a real dick to me. I really loved basking in the fucking weird, slightly conservative theater program we had's like kind of adulation. And then fucking Sid Haig comes in, and somebody was like, what's the thing you've least liked being? And he's like, that thing your teacher just showed you? And I just remember in the back going, this guy fucking rules. And I literally was like, no one was asking questions because they were all kind of afraid of him. And so I raised my hand. I was like, so what's the deal with House of a Thousand Corpses? Because I've been following it for fucking ever, because like anytime there's a fucking horror movie that doesn't come out, I'm like, well, now I need to see it. It has all the value in the world.
Right.
And so like, and it had it got pushed back after 9/11 because it was the America's got to get back into the blood and guts business quote Rob Zombie or whatever had.
Yeah.
And so he like basically recants for the classroom just so they know what me and him are talking about, the journey of fucking House of Corpses coming out, because then it was coming out that spring and I was super fucking hyped for it. And so it was kind of, I gave him one of my band's demo and he like took it. Like he was so fucking rad. So I was like day one at there, like 17 years old. I can see R-rated movies. One of the first R-rated movies I go and see is House of a Thousand fucking Corpses. And like it blows my mind because it's like I have not seen a ton of 70s movies yet, but I know that like weird 70s movies are a thing I would like to consume as much of as possible as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird fucking movie. And it's also crazy that the two fucking leads in it are Chris Hardwick and Rainn Wilson. and so I remember like years later, again, at this point I'm working for Nerd Melt but not Nerdist yet.
Yeah.
And so like I'm not even into the world I'm going to be yet, but it's the first time I had gone to Hollywood Horror Nights was with my aunt in 2011, where I abandoned the open mic for a night. I got shit-faced with my aunt, and then we just went to Horror Nights. It was great. But they had the House of a Thousand Corpses maze there.
Oh,
and
right.
we were walking through, and at one point, drunk-ass me, we walked into the room where Dr. Satan is killing a fake Chris Hardwick. And I scream as loud as I can at Dr. Satan, yeah, hit him again! And I watched Dr. Satan fully pull back in terror. As a
Points!
drunk man wanders in and is just screaming in joy about the murder we're sharing.
Enjoy that burrito, fuckface.
Get him! And I just it's such a distinct memory. And then my aunt, God bless her, for sure was like, yeah, little shit starter she was. So we're just freaking out a murder monster because we're like, they're not killing him fast enough. He's still got teeth, motherfucker. It was such a fucking crazy moment. So it was like, okay, a decade later, and this movie pops back up, and it's still beautiful things to me.
Hell yeah!
So it's a weird movie. I have such an odd relationship with, but I watch it every year at Halloween, and I'm always like, this still fucking rips.
April 16th, Michael Jordan plays his last game ever.
For
he
the Wizards, baby.
Loses 100.
So late.
I know.
Well, do you know that's what was in the news when fucking 9/11 happens? Is that Jordan is playing as a coach player for the Washington Wizards?
Right. Yeah, he scored.
We got to hit that fucking.
I did the whistle.
He scores 15 points in a 107-87 loss to the 76ers in Philadelphia and
It's
receives
wild
a
how bad the back end is.
3
That is
minute
tough.
standing O. That same day, A Mighty Wind is released, which is
I love that movie.
one
so
of my
much.
top movies of the year.
Well, there's coffee in the cupboard and a settle on the stove. And
That's a real I look at it and go yeah, this is the kind of thing that makes me want to make a goddamn movie just because it's what about all this silly shit?
Somewhere across Hollywood, Brent Schmidt's ears will poke up. April 22nd, Sleep releases Dope Smoker, which is one 63-minute long fucking track.
Yeah, and it rules.
Hell yes. Now, this is weird. April 28th, Apple Music Store opens. Somehow, the eternal Centralia coal mine fire that is the music industry wrested a bit of control back from online pirates by making it cool to pay 99 cents for MP3s instead of the previous model, which is not paying for them at all. Obviously, this new
Previous business model, throwing a trash can through a window.
They really stated plainly.
Obviously, this new windfall went directly to the artists.
Yeah.
So I've never
course.
figured out how they did that.
And the industry never completely collapsed again.
Yeah, well, even at the time, I remember being like, "You're paying
Yeah, why?
money for music? Like,
it's just there.
it's just free, right?
I think it's in
You
place.
pay when you use your sink?
It's like porn and videos of guys getting hit by trains. It's all free.
It's all free and great to jerk off to.
I want to meet the person who has a subscription to a people being hit by trains website.
Hey, look, man, if College Humor's got Dropout, you can everyone has their own app now. There's people getting by
You
trains.
ever been to oneguyOnetrain.com?
One guy, one train.
No, they have like an Instagram account that was like, imagine an Instagram account that was just trains hitting stuff. And literally, you just go to it, and it's just trains hitting cars and fucking people and all kinds of weird shit.
I love dashboard, like Russian dash cam compilation
Ooh,
accounts
yeah.
are great.
Strong.
I worked on a show once where the writing staff was some of the best writers in comedy, and at a party we were having, all they did all night was get drunk and high and watch dash cam videos. like truly, some of the people are like, I'm afraid to talk to you, and you are hammered and pointing like, that's not where a car's supposed to go.
Well, you turn it left so fast.
So
Thought you had a crime. Somebody was not good at it.
There was a
I bet.
bear driving a car, and a guy's like, that's not the bears don't drive cars.
My favorite joke from the Clerks animated show. Who is driving? Oh my God, Bear is driving. How can that be?
May 1st, 2003, mission accomplished. George W. Bush lands dick first on the USS Abraham Lincoln off the coast of San Diego and declares major combat in Iraq is over.
In a flight suit.
I am going to look into camera right now and address.
Yes.
I need everyone to remember this reference forever
Yeah.
because it's the best reference to work into anything ever is a mission accomplished.
Yeah, yeah,
So I need us
that's really
to
good.
preserve this piece of important American history.
Yeah.
Because I have never stopped pitching mission accomplished jokes, and we're dangerously close to it being forgotten.
It's almost irrelevant. It's like Coco.
Yeah.
It's like how people disappear in Coco if you don't remember them.
I think this is going to be one of those ones like Alonzo Hamburger Jones, where like the comedy writer community keeps it alive.
It's truly to me like an Abraham Lincoln level important to comedy, like historical thing.
Right.
So
I don't disagree.
So later that
Also,
month,
they made an action figure of Bush from that exists out there in the
That's
flight.
so
suit.
how big was his cod piece?
This is deep into
Try
me
me.
being fully like
You push a button, it shoots.
He's absolutely wearing a fucking cod piece in that. I'm not kidding. Like you look at it, you're like, that
Let's roll the clip.
groins are not shaped like this.
I am fully Wizard magazine and Toy Fair magazine pilled at this point. Like,
Yeah.
This is
Oh, sure. No, I've seen this picture before.
Yeah. So later that month, Paul Bremer becomes the head of the Coalition Provisional Authority, making him the de facto king of Iraq. That's right. White guy from America. He issues Order Number 2, which dissolves the entire former Iraqi army, putting 400,000 very well-trained Iraqi soldiers immediately out of work.
Well, I certainly don't think they're going to do anything
It's
about
very
it.
Clone Warsy.
So,
What's order number 1?
yeah, well,
It was a Big Mac.
No, it was Bomb City, cut loose guys with guns.
Number 3, we're getting a Wendy's in here.
Yeah. So after some protest, the CPA agrees to pay the angry mob $50 to $150 a month to keep them quiet. This also marks the beginning of the U.S. policy of debathification, in which members of the Ba'ath Party, which constituted around 10% of Iraq's population, were kicked out of government forever. And at one point before the invasion, Bremer asked his Baghdad chief for his thoughts, and he said, quote, "If you put this order in, you will have 50,000 people on the streets, underground, and mad at Americans." And he did it anyway.
We were worried something bad would happen.
Yeah. Oh, also,
Can't hit the towers twice,
yeah,
man.
They're already gone. We're out of tall stuff.
yeah. Also, oh no, Miss Elizabeth died. But May 2nd, X2, X-Men United.
Fucking great.
The best
Great.
X-Men comes out. Oh no.
Great movie. Love X2.
Yeah.
X2's phenomenal. It's
My favorite, May 3rd, the old man of the mountain, a rock formation in New Hampshire, crumbles after a heavy rain. The rock had been featured on New Hampshire's state quarter in 2000 and is still featured on their license plate. So if you
Walt
thought
Whitman ass poem.
if you thought fucking Rhode Island was boring, New Hampshire's rock fucking fell down 21 years ago. And they're like, no, it could come back, maybe.
Residents say, quote, "Yeah, whatever, fuck that rock." You guys see X2 yet?
Oh, I can't believe this is the savior, what he's about to say.
Yeah. So May 10th, 2003, we've got just a revolution in music.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Fountains of Wayne releases Stacy's Mom, and their album Welcome Interstate Managers would be released on June 10th.
And we all know so many other songs from it.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I actually really like that.
No,
I know, I'm sure it's good. I don't know it.
That is what I was going to say, is because this comes out, we were all cool and in high school, and we're like, fucking, this sucks, right? And then, the more enlightened of us got a hold of this record, and we're like, hey, this is actually good. And we were like, whatever. And it wasn't until years later that I heard, Valley Winter Song, legitimately one of the most beautiful songs ever written.
Should I
off of
give
album.
this a
Wine
spin?
is really good.
Yeah, give it a listen.
I should give this a listen.
There's
Okay, I
Taylor
will.
and I just watched That Thing You Do, and I informed her that the Fountains of Wayne guy wrote this song.
Schlesinger, man. Adam
He did,
Schlesinger.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. He wrote all
And,
the songs.
Oh, okay.
and
That's
Josie
fucking
the
awesome.
Pussy.
'Cause that
Yeah.
show's amazing.
So I have a weird side piece of this that is the distinct memory I will always have for this song. I was calling the drummer for my band at the time to set up when we were going to practice. And he was hanging out at this drug dealer who lived in his neighborhood's house named Fat Steve.
Sure.
And Fat Steve loved to get fucked up, and he had a cheap little keyboard. He would do little songs. And I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to meet up with him for band practice. And in the background, you hear Fat Steve is playing Stacy's Mom and hitting the chords on the keyboard, and he's screaming Stacy's Mom. And then he goes, "Who's on the phone?" and he's like, "It's Kyle." And then he just, without missing a beat, he goes, "Kyle's dad has got it going on." And he's just singing that at full lung so I can hear him across the room on the fucking
That's so
phone
good.
as me and the drummer. And so like, and then later we're at band practice, and he's like, "Do you also have Kyle's dad has got it going on stuck in your head?" Like, yeah, it's never gonna leave. So I will always have Kyle's dad's got it going on.
That's really
because
funny.
a drunk drug dealer was singing it on keyboard.
I respect
Can't
that.
beat that.
Oh,
So the same day Stacy's Mom comes out, May 10th is a Saturday. And that night they aired a brand new episode of Saturday Night Live. Now, on the whole, the list of people who have been banned from SNL is filled with some pretty rad folks. So we've got Martin Lawrence, he's cool. The Replacements, they're
Yeah.
fucking cool. Sinead O'Connor
Fuck
is
yeah,
fucking cool.
fuck yeah, Sinead O'Connor.
God rest her soul, and to all the souls of the dearly departed. There's shitheads on the team too. I'm not gonna front. You got your Steven Seagal, you got Robert Blake. But there's one name.
I forgot Robert Blake is banned.
Are we about to talk about?
I know what we're about to do. I'm so excited.
So
this is good.
there's one name on the list of SNL's banned list that will make you cock your head to the side if you don't know what happened, and that is Oscar winner Adrian Brody.
Yes!
Because on May 10th, 2003, the pianist star appeared on the show and was tasked with introducing Jamaican artist Sean Paul, whose song "Get Busy" had been a big hit back in January.
Yeah, man, Jamaica, man, you know, Rastafari, you know, you got the whole family in the house, you know, we got Sean Peter, you know, you got Sean Paul, you got Sean Mary, you got Sean John, you know, we all in the house now, man, you know, respect all our spec, you know, me respect, me next spec, me knee spec, me ankle spec, you know, yeah, we got a great show, you know, Kingston massive, yeah. But, Kilo Party boy. Yeah, man. We got the whole crew now, you know. I gotta give a big up, enough respect, a dancehall players, you know. And like Sean John.
It's so long.
He introduces him as Sean
John. His name is Sean Paul.
Yeah.
He got lost in the bit. Now, I did want to mention, he's not allowed back because he did this for no reason.
Nobody wrote that for him.
Except that you did notice that the keyboard player did do some reggaeton horns.
Someone knew it was coming.
Someone had to have known. This is an inside fucking job.
The island. Inside job.
Yeah, inside job.
This was Jamaica
did 9/11.
Well, this script actually came from
The buildings
CIA
go
black
down,
site.
The towers.
It's so much longer than I thought.
It's long,
in my
man.
mind, he just did some ill-advised moving back and forth, said a funny thing, and then said the name wrong.
He's wearing a dreadlock wig, and it goes on for...
Respect my neck.
Yeah, goes on for 40 seconds, which is...
It felt like
An
a year.
eternity.
That's not how introducing a musical guest has ever worked on SNL either.
It's so
you
crazy.
Just say the
He's like,
name.
what if I lampoon their culture while I do it?
Yeah.
Has anyone asked Sean Paul how he felt about this?
No, I mean, I'm sure he was just stoked to
He
be
was
there.
just sitting there like, Jesus Christ.
That rules so
Yeah.
hard. It's so bad.
Side beat.
I
Get
can't
busy
believe-
is a fucking jam.
I'm so glad that was this year and I got to be here on the
Yeah.
episode
It's-
when it was brought up.
It's so good. Like I said, those are all the people that have been banned from SNL, and you're just like, Adrian Brody? Like the others make a certain kind of sense. Like
There's
the
a lot-
Replacements are drunk
Well,
morons.
there's a lot more people on that list that would have done that before Adrian Brody.
Right, right. And it's
I can see Steven Seagal doing that way before.
Oh, yeah.
What did he get banned for? I don't remember.
He sucks.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah. He was
and
an
he
asshole.
pitched a whole sketch about a therapist who is actually the rapist.
Oh, sure.
Which
What?
there's a
Really?
joke they did.
I was gonna say they did that on Celebrity Jeopardy. Yeah.
John Travolta once was. Norm Macdonald said that John Travolta was in a pitch session for when he was hosting, and he was like, "What if it's like Columbo, but his name is Shlomo Pennypincher?"
Holy Jesus Christ!
Yeah, as a Norm Macdonald used to write on the show. He said that everyone was horrified and he was dying laughing in there.
So this is May 14th. R.I.P. Robert Stack.
Oh, boy.
Unsolved Mysteries, Airplane, Beavis and Butthead Do America. Fucking classics
his
all
death, though,
around.
airtight, open and shut case.
Yeah.
That's a
Solved as fuck.
Solved as fuck.
You've heard his voice. You know he'd be loving cigarettes.
He'd be loving it.
He'd be loving it.
You've been loving it, What you do the rest of the podcast?
Welcome to Unsolved Mysteries, Mon.
The dead body.
guys, let's slow down. I think we might have a Peacock reboot.
Personal one here. Granddaddy releases the song Someday, or the album Someday.
Great record. That's a great record.
Speaking of skaters who also do cool stuff. But I mean, let's get to the.
How do you think I learned about him?
Yeah, hell yeah. But-
Stray Dog and the Chocolate Shake. I know that's not from that record, but
but also this day, I mean, this again, contender for person who had the best year ever.
Oh shit!
First solo album by Beyonce Knowles, aka just Beyonce,
Yeah.
Queen Bey, etc., etc. But yeah,
An industry unto herself.
oh yeah, and featuring future husband and corporate merger Jay-Z. Her first solo album, Dangerously in Love, was released on June 23rd. The album would go on to sell 6 million copies and garner 5 awards at the next year's Grammys.
The
And
song was everywhere.
this, you couldn't if you went to the grocery store, it was playing in the fucking grocery store. I remember going to Snow Biz, which is a Hawaiian-shaped ice hut, and just hearing this going through tinny speakers coming out through it in the blazing Alabama sun. So this shit was
Hell
fucking
yeah.
everywhere. But
It's pretty good.
hell yeah. But the next day, now this was when everybody in America just kind of went, because we got the release of The Matrix Reloaded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was there Saturday of that weekend release.
you know, the disappointments in my life as a movie fan, there's some that stick out. And I don't think I've ever gone into a movie more hyped and left not hyped at all.
Yeah.
To the point where I still to this day have never seen Matrix Revolutions.
You know,
worth
I
watching
might
one.
be
It's better.
Is it?
It is better.
Okay. I was just so fucked off by the
Have
to
you
be
watched it
continued.
recently?
No.
It's so weird now.
Why would I do that?
No, I watched The Matrix on a flight from Seattle, but other than that,
when
no.
we were getting ready for the new one, I went through them, and it was kind of fun. That I was like, oh, okay, like 3 is pretty watchable and fun. Animatrix is a thing that you should get high and watch immediately.
Yeah.
And the second one, it's so fucking weird that you kind of have it like. Now that we live in a world where like a lot of shit's kind of lame, like this like electronic rave orgy, and then these like pale twins with dreadlocks running down a freeway cutting shit in half.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't really understand what we had. It's sort of like the Fast and the Furious, where you're like, this seemed dumb at the time, but things will get much worse.
Matrix Revolutions comes out November 5th of the same year. Like I said, I've never seen it. May 19th, JoJo Siwa is born in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know who this person is, but people are always mad at her now.
It's funny. Taylor explained it to me over dinner who she was on Friday.
Okay. What's the
She was
shorthand?
like
Is it like Jojo Rabbit?
no, she was like a
Yeah, she's also a nine.
like a Nickelodeon actor who then started a pop career and then came out and now is just like very much online, and so like you are either people love you or you should die. Then
Sure.
you know.
She went viral doing like some like I invented gay dancing.
Yes,
or
that was what. Oh,
something
that's what it was.
recently.
Is that they were making this whole run of like you've never heard music. It's music designed for gay people to dance to with a pop edge.
Yeah.
She's every 20-year-old in history
Yeah.
who doesn't know shit about fuck and thinks they came
Yeah,
up with
and
it.
it's you know we've all had various conversations with this person across every single subculture in the world, and occasionally you're like famous, and it sucks that like everyone then gets to call you out.
Yeah, that's how it be.
May 21st, Ruben Studdard beats Clay Aiken for the finals at American Idol. And
Sorry, 2004.
yes, so the single at the time was Flying Without Wings. I'll never forget the Conan joke where he says, this week American Idol winner Ruben Studdard is going back to Birmingham. He's promoting his single Flying Without Wings, but on the plane he'll be flying with his ass in 2 seats. It's just like, God damn, Conan.
That's pretty solid.
But
We could really put together a pretty damning Conan model compilation and stuff where it's like, I know our beloved Christ of comedy is a beautiful creature, but also like, here's some stuff.
yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s, you were still kind of allowed to make fun of fat people.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was awesome.
Hey,
like, I want to tell you, I'm fat as shit. I love a good fat joke.
Same. I still say open season. Here, it's approved by me. But I just wanted to mention the song that he puts out in December because there's no chance we'll talk about Ruben Studdard ever again.
Yeah.
But the song "Sorry 2004."
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I remember this song.
This is a real like a memory is coming back into my brain.
I don't know this.
Yeah, so Ruben Studdard puts out a song in December of 2003 called Sorry 2004. And here's some lyrics. It's a fucking hilarious song. Girl, I've apologized a million times before. I'll apologize a million more, so here it comes again. For all the wrong I've done, get ready, babe. Here's 1,000,001. Girl, this is my sorry for 2004. I ain't gonna mess up no more this year.
This is a man who's very made peace with the fact that he's not going to get better.
It is a preemptive.
Girl, I fucking suck.
Yeah.
And I will continue to do so.
The whole
I don't know
song-
why you're here still.
I'm a lead in. We should have a talk. I just won American Idol.
Yeah.
The song is about he's
I'm
like
gonna fuck and snort
yes
and kill. Everything I see.
I'm gonna
for the next
apologize.
3.
Look, am I a good boyfriend? Certainly not. Am I a big fat fuck? Most definitely. But will I be relevant for about 9 more days? You bet your ass.
Yeah, the lyrics are literally he's like, I love hot tubs with girls, I love fucking strip clubs, but Just letting you know, this entire year is going to be pretty bad if you expect anything
Look,
from me.
I'm sorry in advance for 2004, the year I will kill myself.
So Ruben is still.
Guys, we have the option to do sorry for 2024 still.
Oh yeah, we're sorry for 2024. Yeah, Ruben's still doing music and Broadway from time to time. He is a hero in Birmingham. I should mention he created the Ruben Studdard Foundation for the advancement of children in the music arts.
Children music arts and hot tub technology.
Yes, sir. Speaking of American Idol, the movie From Justin to Kelly, starring season 1 winners Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini,
former alt comedy punching bag. From Justin to
Wait,
Kelly.
Guarini, the Dr. Pepper guy?
Yeah, so that would fail. So that would fail massively. But on Wednesday, July 2nd, Justin Guarini was on a lake in Texas with Kelly Clarkson, and he lost control of a jet ski he was piloting. He jumped off the jet ski. The jet ski crashed into the beach and almost hit a 5-year-old girl.
Oh my God.
And
I didn't know this at all.
he then ran away. And they said,
swam away.
Well, no, like the witnesses said, like he like ran down the beach and was just like hanging out with Kelly Clarkson, like nothing happened. And the girl's dad.
What's going on?
This is Texas, so of course the girl's dad knows a fucking Texas Ranger,
right?
And he just goes over there and does, it's
They hate Guarini.
Yeah, good thing it happened at the beach because otherwise,
a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like that's like they
that's
got a
from Justin to
real-time
Kelly.
absence.
Yeah.
Like
we have to
that.
cover up a murder. Kelly Clarkson, help me! I just killed a kid.
No, that was someone else's jet ski.
Kelly
That
Clarkson
wasn't-
write that movie.
Yeah.
From Justin to Kelly to the shore.
He was later fined $145.
Oh, well, how many life sentences did he serve?
Yeah, it's 6,000 years in
6,000
jail.
years. Only $145, but 6,000
The
years.
jet
in jail.
ski was given the electric.
Yeah, the jet ski was given a lethal
We are all
injection.
aggressively ignoring the fact that, according to that, if you crash a jet ski and don't kill the child,
it's $145.
$145. I have that. Who wants to go jet ski riding?
I would love to. I would love to miss
inflation,
a
I'll
child.
take that risk.
With inflation, it's probably $250.
$300.
Something like that.
Well, I can't do it.
You know
I'm
what?
out.
They throw another 50 on it. The kid ends up in a coma.
Yeah.
But only if it's a funny coma.
Oh yeah, if he's like,
I'm a professional.
a little tongue flapped out.
I'll kind of run through some of these movies real quick. May 23rd is Bruce Almighty. May 30th, The Italian Job and Finding Nemo.
My brothers had the Italian Job 4 times in theater.
That is like the perfect platonic ideal of a movie that you see on a bus on a school trip.
Yes.
We've talked about it. It's Italian Job. It's gone in 60 seconds because your teacher forgot that Nicolas Cage fingers Angelina Jolie to completion in that movie. And everybody watches
To completion.
She does. They don't fuck.
Well, it'd be fine, but she comes, so the kids can't see that.
But she has dreadlocks too, so that's 2 strikes. right there.
And Finding Nemo, which would go on to compete in a very competitive 3-film-wide and Best Animated Feature nomination category and win against the triplets of Belleville and I believe Brother Bear.
Oh shit!
I might be off on that one.
It's also
Suck
because
it, Phil
there's
Collins.
there's like a third movie that doesn't get nominated too within that run. I forget what it is.
I can't remember, but it's something. Oh, it's like a Satoshi Kon movie.
yes.
or
Oh, it's
something.
Millennium
Millennium Actress.
I could tongue kiss you right now. Kevin.
Paprika?
Oh, it is, no, it's Millennium Actress.
Okay, yes.
May 31st, Olympic Park bomber Eric Rudolph is captured in southern North Carolina near Ananahill National Forest after being on the run since 1996. A random beat cop in Murphy, North Carolina finds Rudolph in a dumpster.
Every one of these is a movie.
Digging through. And here's the thing. He's supposedly been living in the woods. He claims that he didn't talk to anybody. He's clean shaven when they fucking find him. He has like a mustache and that's it. He's otherwise, so 100%
What
a
kind
bunch of goddamn
mustache?
hillbillies in southern North Carolina.
Maybe certain animals are nicer to you when you have a mustache.
Yeah.
True.
He said he bombed the Olympics because it spread the message of global socialism, brought to you by Coca-Cola and McDonald's, and on-demand abortion. He killed 2 people and was sentenced to 4 consecutive
The
life sentences.
Olympics is promoting on-demand abortion.
I didn't know that was an
socialism.
event.
Am I way
but
back into the Olympics?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the 40-meter child killing.
throwing a javelin at a pregnant woman.
What happened? Did you fall down the stairs? No, discus.
Competitive stair pushing.
The 50 steps.
So, June 1st, CBS News reports that very few states have complied with the Brady Bill requiring they should list all people involuntarily hospitalized for mental illness on the FBI computer database used for gun purchases. Approximately 2.7 million people in the United States should be banned from buying guns, but only about 90,000 are. This will not be an ongoing problem forever.
No, it's never come up again.
Yeah,
since then.
but also that same day, Last Comic Standing premieres, in which Dat Fan defeats Ralphie May in one of the craziest, stupidest thing that's ever happened in comedy.
I've been waiting for this to come up so that I can point out that Ralphie May ends up winning out, though, in that I believe he is one of the most went to Iraq during the Iraq War fucking
Ralphie
comedians of all
May?
time.
Oh, yeah. And just like beloved comics.
Yeah, I believe every so I'm obsessed with USO tours because I want to fly in a helicopter one day. I get it. I fucking take me to wherever. It's dangerous. Fucking what am I worried about? My money?
Yeah.
And so every person I've ever talked to has a story that involves Ralphie May, and they're all the most amazing things I can't repeat.
I have a very, very brief Dat Fan memory that is related to Kyle and
I was going to say, you guys are Orange County people. What do we got for Dat Fan?
No, it was just when I first moved to LA, and the first open mic I started going to was the Nerd Melt open mic, which was run at the time by Kyle Clark and John Ungaro. And there was one night when they kept saying that Dat Fan was coming up to the next to the stage, and they would just bring out a fucking rotating, oscillating fan, and they did it 5 times in one night. And it got to the point where John would creep out timidly with it, and everyone would yell at him.
So here's the thing. We were going to do it once, and Hampton Yount pitched us to do it, and then bailed on us immediately when it went wrong. And so we decided that instead of looking like assholes, we're going to double down.
Yep, and
we'll do it every 5th comedian all goddamn night because we don't care.
And it was very
I don't have a
funny.
podcast yet. I'm barely employed.
Yeah, it was very funny.
25, I have nowhere to go. We will do a fan joke until everyone has left this room.
Oh, God, yeah.
I did a comedy competition once where Dat Fan was one of the judges, and I won. And he comes up afterwards. He's like, "Hey man, you were really funny. You want to open for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Cool. Just bring like 20 of your friends."
That
son of a bitch.
Get out of here.
And then gave me a business card larger than any business card I've ever seen that doesn't fit in the normal part of your wallet.
It's the COVID vaccine size business card. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Shout out to friend of the show, Dat Fan.
I just love the idea that they let Dat Fan win that show, and the executives were like, "And surely he has a second joke."
No, yeah.
Turns out, no.
We could do a whole other season.
Oh, yeah. June 4th, Martha Stewart is indicted for doing the same shit that Congress does every single day.
Yep. And including with COVID.
Yeah. Stewart sold 4,000 shares of her stock in a company called ImClone days before the FDA refused to review their cancer treatments. The company's stock tumbled following the FDA's announcement. She went to jail for 5 months in 2004 for, again, doing exactly what Nancy Pelosi does every fucking day. According to a former inmate who served time with Martha Stewart, she'd smuggle in ingredients and bake for them regularly.
Yes.
And I love this sentence.
Queen.
At one point, Martha Stewart made a caramel flan, and no one knows how she did it.
But she made Dat Flan?
Yeah, she made Dat Flan. Dat Flan all the girls be talking about.
That's fair.
I just saw the graphic for the next song, and I'm so fucking annoyed.
June 5th, really, we got a real interesting one here. This is the release of Metallica's Stanger, baby.
Stanger, up there, we know her.
Is Saint Anger one of the most covered things on this podcast?
Listen to those drums, Kyle. Listen to how Lars decided to start a revolution by disconnecting the snares from his snare drum, so the whole album sounds like a Donkey Kong drum game. Listen.
It's so long.
It's jungle hijinks.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are no stairs on anything.
You know how bad you gotta fuck up that like we're all like we know shit about the drum sound?
Listen to it. It sounds crazy.
I do feel like he's running.
Wait a minute. I've not listened to this in so long.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
there's no snares.
Headphones on involuntarily. Listen to the open snares, and then it's like, but what if we did that and then made like Bad Slayer?
Yeah.
Like,
what if Lars was in the basement?
It's crappier than I remember.
But
I have a very low opinion of all of Metallica.
So the next year, a documentary entitled Metallica, Some Kind of Monster, would be released about the production of this
One
album.
of the finest American films ever made.
Indeed. Yeah, so
I did rewatch that like maybe 2 years ago, and it was like, it is insane that this exists. What a gift this is to film, to music criticism, to American psychology. Like, what a masterful document.
Legitimately one of the greatest documentaries ever. June 6th, Too Fast, Too Furious, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Double feature.
Coming out on the same day. June 9th, Radiohead releases Hail to the Thief, but who gives a shit? They suck. Let's talk about a real fucking release, because on that same day, McDonald's releases goddamn McGriddles. Woo! That's right. And also, salads. for the first time.
Wait, the salad shaker?
No, just salads in general.
The salad shaker was fine.
Yeah.
Because then they stopped selling the salad shaker, but then they started selling it in my school district. So I had eaten many a salad shaker in my high school and middle school.
Yeah, your 1,400 calorie big gulp full of salad.
Yeah. When I found this out, because I was trying to figure out, I saw McGriddles came out in 2003, and I was trying to nail down a date. So I went to newspapers.com and looked in the archives, found the date thanks to Ken Hoffman, Drive Through Gourmet, who had a syndicated column where he wrote about junk food, and I was like, I should have been born 10 years earlier.
That would have been the perfect job.
Yeah,
I'd have been dead by now,
Much better
but
a podcaster than anyone you're sitting in front of.
You would have been the Walter Cronkite of asking how they got the syrup inside the bread.
I've always suspected they deep freeze it, and then they steer it into the batter,
smart.
and then they bake it. I think
That makes sense.
I think the whole thing is just made out of like the shit that turned the Ninja Turtles from regular turtles into ninjas.
Drop a pancake and a regular breakfast sandwich.
Kill me.
And once they stop talking, we can serve them.
Yeah. You know the ending of Akira? That, but for sandwiches.
That's why I get so hungry.
So just a personal one here, June 17th, Drive By Truckers Decoration Day is released.
One of my
One of
favorite,
the favorite records of the whole
time.
year, whole decade.
Mike Cooley writes the best Rolling Stones song.
Hell yeah. On June 19th, the U.S. Census Bureau announces that Hispanics have become the largest minority in the U.S.
Largest minority.
Saludos.
The majority minority.
Yeah. June 24th, a 13-year-old singer named Taylor Swift signs to an artist development deal at RCA Records.
Wait, I'm exactly as old as Taylor Swift. Oh no, I didn't know.
Crazy how
I guess I didn't realize that.
You guys are basically the same person.
Yeah, and I dance similarly. Yeah,
You're also fucking Travis Kelce.
and I'm gonna write some cryptic shit about it.
See, I was gonna say if you put out a comedy record, it should be called Also 1989.
Also 1989.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess
Kevin, I think we
few.
might have a title.
I think we
Also
got it.
1989 parentheses Taylor's version.
Taylor's
parentheses
version.
again Kevin's version.
Fuck Scooter.
Fuck Scooter. That was just called Fuck Scooter.
Fuck Scooter. I'll let it.
Prawn and Libby, both of them. Anyone named Scooter is catching hands.
The Muppet.
Yeah, the Muppet.
Oh, he's fine.
No, fuck him. Put him in the lump.
He was canceled.
He knows what he did.
The Muppets get canceled.
So we've got a couple back-to-back rest in pisses. First up, June 25th, Lester Maddox, who was a businessman and the segregationist governor of Georgia, dies at 87. He denied Martin Luther King the honor of lying in state at the Georgia State Capitol after he was assassinated. Famously stormed off the Dick Cavett show with legendary football player and actor Jim Brown. When Dick Cavett called his bigoted supporters bigots, he then went on to get waxed by Jimmy Carter when he ran for governor again in 1974. Now, this is the thing I wanted to get to because I didn't know this about Lester Maddox until I started reading. With his political career seemingly over and with massive debts stemming from his 1974 failed governor's race, Maddox began a short-lived nightclub comedy career in 1977. So the Georgia equivalent of George Wallace. Not as famous as Wallace, but that guy. The guy who was the racist governor of Georgia.
The racist George Wallace, not to be confused with the comedian George Wallace.
Right. But starts...
Let me get that out of the way, watcher.
So listen to the routine. So he starts a short-lived nightclub career in 1977. So Richard Pryor has happened at this point. Comedy is not this, but he goes for it. So this is his act. He has on stage with him an African-American musician named Bobby Lee Fears.
No fucking
Keep talking.
Bobby Lee had previously been a vocalist in the Ohio Players. Fears, in real life, had worked as a busboy in Maddox's restaurant and had served time in prison for a drug offense. Maddox, as lieutenant governor, was able to get him out of jail by obtaining a pardon. And now they're doing a two-hander called The Governor and the Dishwasher, in which the comedy duo performs comedy bits built around the governor's subjugation over the dishwasher.
I have a note and a question.
Yes.
The note is, we both know The Governor and the Dishwasher was not his first pitch for the title.
No, heavens no.
That was a real let's get it started
Is
situation.
the implication there that he pardoned him on the condition he do this act?
Yes, that he comes on the road.
6,000 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to float this, gentlemen in this room. If we write this as a screenplay, we might win an Oscar.
We might.
If you were in prison
It's like
right
Green
now,
Book, but watchable.
if you're in
Because we
prison
get
right
to
now,
write the
learn how to
comedy
play the
for it.
bass.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, this is so much worse than Green Book. Like,
my God.
So the joke is is the governor's subjugation over the dishwasher and the dishwasher's lack of intelligence. And there's also musical numbers where Maddox plays the harmonica and Fierce plays the guitar. There is a video of this, and it is almost as fucked as you'd imagine.
Oh my God, can we watch it?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, let's go.
I can't. So like I had some Ohio's Players records back in the day, and
a bunch of them.
I didn't know this at all.
I'm bummed it's not just this like shitty white governor doing bad observational stand.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look at this fucking dishwashing asshole.
You ever
over
notice
there.
how white people dance like this and black people get off my lawn? Like
White people dance like this, while black people wash my dishes?
Honored to have you. It's great to be in New York. Great to be alive. Great to be an American. Great to get up out of bed again. It takes me a lot longer, but I still enjoy getting up.
Wow. Doing an act with a black man. Have you had any lots of comments
It does
about
make
that?
a bit of difference whether black or white or red, yellow, whatever they are.
He's also quite talented.
I grew up in an integrated neighborhood with black people and worked with them, and they worked for me, and I worked for them.
Well, his name is Bobby Lee Fierce, and ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the governor and the dishwasher.
All right, thank you.
Oh my God.
Fucking.
He's old.
Why don't we start off with, thank you very much. Why don't we start off with one about whoever heard the song Red River Valley? Did you?
Oh, song parodies. This is gonna be good.
This is called Red.
Wait.
Please clap.
Please clap. Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Bobby Lee, man, you behind on tables. They're dirty. The floors are dirty. Garbage needs to be carried out. You haven't cut up all the chicken, and you interrupt me while I'm doing my thing. I don't get to do it very often. What's going on?
Periods, commas.
What is the time and place to talk, friend?
The time is now.
Well, what do you got to talk about? Lay it on.
I'm tired of washing dishes. I'm tired of cutting chicken. Tired of buzzing your tables, mopping your floors, and canning out your garbage.
Man, you just plain tired. You know.
They started.
Holy shit.
So that's the joke. Man, you're just plain tired.
Dude, this sucks.
It sucks.
Working with a black man, huh? What's
so
that like?
bad.
What's that like? What's it like to work with a black man?
Well, that's the thing is like his whole thing was he would go on TV, like on the Mike Douglas show, to be what they call now on the internet a lol cow, because by 1970 it was just like, oh, look at this fucking old fossil.
Yeah.
Like that's how quickly the civil rights movement moved. Is by 1970 people were like, this guy is fucking ridiculous, to the point where if you know the Randy Newman song Rednecks,
yes,
the song starts with, I saw Lester Maddox on the TV last night with some smart ass New York Jew.
Oh.
That's what he's talking about, is that appearance. So yeah, he's talking about this fucking guy.
That's
but
crazy.
It's just so wild that like he is
we do have to go quickly back to just, I'm tired of cutting your chickens and doing all the things, and someone just
yeah.
One person in the audience is fervently applauding.
Yeah,
they love it.
Here's what else is insane about that is like, no disrespect to the, I forget his name, but the black guy in that act.
Yeah,
But like
the dishwasher.
But what he's doing is not inherently special. Like anybody can kind of deliver those lines.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know why Leslie Maddox found him, except he went, I need a black guy who's in jail.
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
He didn't think to look anywhere but there.
He was in jail, and a guy I kind of know because he worked for me at some point.
That's fucking
that's truly insane.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on the dishwasher. And the governor.
That's a whole episode. That's a whole episode right there.
The next day, rest in piss, Strom Thurmond died at 100.
Oh, may you die in lungs filled with diarrhea.
Former one-term governor and 48-year-long senator from South Carolina, Thurmond conducted the longest-speaking filibuster ever by a lone senator at 24 hours, 18 minutes in opposition to the Civil Rights Act of 1957.
You gotta hate black people, my man.
That's
a long time.
I know actual Nazis, and even them are on hour 5. They'd be like,
At least-
I don't know, man.
Look, even they have to go to Jiffy Lube at some point.
I guess we can talk about Star Wars for a while.
They gotta go work at Jiffy Lube.
Strom Thurmond was a huge piece of shit every day of his life. His eulogy was given by, you guessed it, Joseph Robinette Biden.
Wow.
What the fuck? Oh, shit.
Wait.
James Strom Thurmond. Fritz, he was one complex guy.
Cool. Yeah.
That was way different direction I thought I was going.
Yeah.
Old Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. He is buried in Willowbrook Cemetery.
Very dark, Brandon.
The darkest Brandon. He is buried in Willowbrook Cemetery in Edgefield, South Carolina, if anyone needs a place to relieve themselves.
Yes.
That same day, The United States Supreme Court declares sodomy laws to be unconstitutional. Lawrence versus Texas.
Take that, Strom.
Hell yeah. So that's how I know how a lot of people celebrated.
If you need somewhere to butt fuck when you're done relieving yourself.
Actually, yeah, that's
You
great.
should go butt fuck on Strom Thurmond's grave and other poems.
Shit on the first guy's grave, butt fuck on Strom Thurmond's. There you go.
That same day, the Cleveland Cavaliers have their first overall draft pick. They select 18-year-old LeBron James.
Damn.
Sodomy, Strom, LeBron, same day.
That's a fucking legendary day.
That's my holy trinity.
That's a legendary day in this country's history.
Okay, you know those memes where it's like so-and-so died in 1999 and someone else is born and it's like, welcome back. Strom Thurmond dies. LeBron James drafted. Welcome back.
Couple movies. June 27th, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. 28 days later.
Another one of my favorites of all time.
Good movie.
But 28 days later.
I think of Charlie's Angels Full
Yeah,
Throttle.
yeah.
Pretty good, though.
I'm going to be real with you guys. I jerked off to Charlie's Angels Full Throttle on an airplane once.
Hell yeah, bro.
Like in the bathroom.
Oh, I was about to say, under the blanket?
You're just watching the headset TV jacking off to it.
Was it all the great wire work they
I
did?
memorized the dance scene and I was like, I'll be right back.
You're just running it back.
Yeah.
Take it from 1.
So-
And a 5, 6, 7, 8. That's insane, Keith.
First position, boys.
I get it.
Fair.
I
was
get
like
it.
15.
That's fair.
So we got those two classic films, but more importantly, a few weeks earlier, a curious billboard appeared on the corner of Highland and Franklin in Los Angeles. It featured a black and white photo with a sickening green tint, a haunting portrait of a man with a drooping eye and a dubious foreign origin.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
The Room.
Wow.
Gets released.
Damn, that's pretty sick.
I can't believe it's that long ago.
That feels like it's more
2003.
It
recent.
feels way more
It's
recent.
weird. My brother went to real early versions of this shit. I have never gone and seen a Room screening ever in my goddamn life.
I haven't
remember,
either.
like, that's some shit. Like he was like the second wave of like people going and seeing it, but it's such a weird thing because it's like,
Well, it's because of this fucking billboard. That is the reason.
Yeah.
Because he paid to keep the billboard up for 5 years at a cost of $5,000 a
Wow.
month. So that
Also,
comes out
that's
to
so
$300K.
That's fucking
This
insane.
also becomes a running game though, where like I really aggressively try to make sure I don't know how much billboards cost.
Yeah, well,
Because I am
Hollywood Highlands, you
I
know.
am genuinely nervous that they cost less than I think, and like
$300,000.
They probably cost less than that.
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? If we get some non-prime spots, like we should like think of the dumb bullshit you could do if you have some amount of disposable income and the desire for chaos.
Shark Tank me some ideas. Let's go halvesies on one of these.
Like perhaps like I have enough Photoshop skill now to become a terrorist. I gotta stop talking about how I want to become a terrorist.
Well, definitely when a microphone's in front of you.
It's the only place they do it.
Rivers is going to have to just put a satire flashing sign that comes on.
Oh, yeah. The satire train leaving the station.
For the less media literate of you out there, that was satire.
Yeah. So this song actually came out back in the winter, but I figured I would play it because it'll be... it's one of my favorites. Junior Senior out of Sweden, I believe, or maybe it's Denmark. Doesn't matter. Point is,
Great song.
this will be a great way to go out with a very Mean Boys headline from the last day of June in 2003. Just one headline here. It says, in Irvine, California, Joseph Hunter Parker kills 2 Albertson employees with a sword before being shot to death by the police.
I remember this.
Do you? Okay, I was hoping. I was like, this is close enough.
Do you think he made a cost-cutting pun?
Oh, we're slashing prices left and right, folks.
Well,
Okay.
he had the club card, so you get the third murder with the sword for free.
And he didn't know it would be him, though.
Dude,
he was the third murder.
It's so much more expensive to stab people at the Ralphs.
That's so crazy. Oh, wait, have you been to Gelson's? All you can do is poke people with a knife.
Yeah.
You go to Food for Less, you get stabbed by the security guard on the way in. Like that's
Dude,
fun.
if you go,
that's their greeter.
yeah, if you go to Erewhon, you get stabbed by a cane sword. So wait, you remember this?
I do. There was like a weird era where there was a rash of supermarket sword attacks. I remember there was like 3 of them. I don't know
that's
that they
true.
were all in Orange County, but I know at least like 2 of them were.
Seems fair to assume.
Yeah, and I just remember being like,
There was
what
an
is...
Inland Empire copycat.
Dude, all the mass shootings are so lame. I think mass sorting should be... If you really
If you
want
could
it...
pull off a mass sorting, You've got a lot more, like, you've got an agenda that's more, like, you care about it more.
If you want to do a mass murder, you should have to fill out an application to the government. Okay, you have a date, you have a time, you have a place, and you have to train.
Yeah, you have to do the raid.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, folks, we've reached the halfway point, goddammit.
Oh,
That is the year 2003 with our guests.
Gentlemen, it's been an absolute
This
pleasure.
has been great. I'm so glad I could go and don't have to do the rest of the year.
Oh, hell yeah.
Big ups to my boy Strom Thurmond.
Yeah, Lester Maddox, you suck. Fucking Colin Powell, you suck.
40 on the curb for the Therm dog.
S to the Trom.
Oh, shit. Well, let's go around and have people promote their things. Kyle, where can people find you on the internet?
Find me at Kyle Clark is Rad on Instagram for when I'm doing shows and artwork I'm working on. You can also follow at Radland Records and go to radland-records.com to go get records from people including Keith Carey's Partylicious.
Damn right.
Kyle Clark's Absolute Terror. Tom Goss's Dead from Chicago. And
Just buy the Tom one. The other two are fine.
Yeah.
But the Tom one's really good.
True. Yeah, so check all of those things out. I have a podcast called This Is Rad. I imagine if you're here, you've possibly heard of it. If not, we're okay. It's not bad. It's like if this was like from a guy who was like starting to fucking fall apart a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And a horror podcast called Everything is Scary that my partner produces, so it's inherently a better show.
That's
true. Yeah, check those things out.
Kevin Anderson, where can people find you on the internet?
Hey, I'm at KB Anderson, on all the things, including Blue Sky, but who goes there? Also, every third Saturday of the month, Avatar 2 Comedy Show in North Hollywood.
One of the finest shows
The finest shows in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Everybody in this room has been on it.
A bunch of times.
A bunch of times.
So we want it to continue
We
forever.
love that.
Yar, why are we pirates? You know Avatar and they're famous pirates.
I started with pirate and was like, I'm going to continue.
I've asked ye shiver me your laughters. I don't know.
Maybe I'll be like that pirate.
Also,
Came in.
the Bleak Review podcast is out there. You can listen to it. It's on hiatus for personal reasons right now.
No.
And we don't have to say any more than that.
Okay.
Could you do me a favor? Could you do a slide whistle real quick?
Oh, that is a slide whistle.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what it feels like. All right.
Keith Carey, where can people find you on the internet?
Sorry, let me just swallow all 5 of the jokes I wanted to make about that. I'm at Keith Tells Jokes. I ain't doing shit, but follow me. I might do something cool at some point.
Oh my God. The Israel horn.
That's why I'm not doing shit.
I'm not. My career isn't advancing out of solidarity.
Oh, Jesus.
Hell yeah. Well, if you are watching this and not just listening, you are already supporting our show in the best way possible. Patreon.com/thegoods pod.
You've seen here.
Buy a shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/thegoods-pod. Make you look skinny on TV. Second best way to support this show, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, Daddy, Michael Jackson's taking you up on a balloon at dawn. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.